10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Liftoff.
Well, greetings, good morning, how's it going? Welcome into Beyond Ringside. Saturday Showcase is live in more ways than I've got active brain cells. We're going to work on that concept too. 13th day of December. Welcome into the simulcast. Thank you to everybody listening in through BeyondRingside.com, as well as TuneIn Radio, the TuneIn Radio mobile app, Shoutcast, Winamp, as well as Ustream this morning. At least I do believe Ustream is up and running. Is Ustream up and running? Yes, Ustream is up and running. Great to know it. Working on some things around here, trying to get it all back in place. Fast, steady Layne, behind the microphone in Studio One, welcoming a tag team partner, the Hitman Big Daddy Cool, Ryan Adcock. What's up, brother?
That's right. The cigarette-infused, coffee-sounding voice is back. No more Wolfman Jack.
There you go. I hope it's been a good week for everybody. It's been chaos around here, as usual. Let's go ahead and take a look at one thing that we didn't get, since we didn't do a post show last Sunday, Ring of Honor Final Battle.
Awesome.
You know, I get tickled at a number of different companies that run news and information sites that actually have them listed under indie rather than mainstream promotions. Last time I checked, and you can correct me if you think I'm wrong on this, at this point in time, ROH is a mainstream promotion.
I agree. But we're different than most people.
I will agree to that. They say the last thing...
And I'm going to tell you something else, too.
Go with it.
They're kicking Vince's ass when it comes to in-ring talent, too.
In-ring talent, yes, to a great degree. Now, let's look... Before we look at Final Battle, let's dissect something here.
Sure. That's what we do.
There you go. The way I'm looking at things, you say in-ring talent, and I agree with that to a great degree. But then...
The product, I should say.
Okay, much better.
That's
okay,
what I should have said.
I'll give you that one. In a heartbeat, I'll give you that one.
No, I don't think that Ring of Honor has as many top-tier talents as Vince does. But it's a lot like the SEC, ACC. The SEC's top talent's better, but the bottom, like Kentucky and Vanderbilt, they suck. It's kind of like Vince's group. They got the top-tier guys, and below that's kind of awful. Ring of Honor from top to bottom is better.
Yeah, I'll definitely go with that. But I think a lot of it is packaging and presentation.
And the fact that they're only on an hour a week.
That has a lot to do with it, too.
Yeah.
You know, coming out of Final Battle, one thing popped in my head. Damn, I wish they had a 1 hour show tomorrow night.
Yeah. A 2 hour show.
No, 1 hour.
Or 1 hour on Saturday, 1 hour on Sunday. Not the same show back to back.
Well, I'm okay with it due to the fact that not everybody has a DVR.
Yeah.
You have some people who still run VCRs and the clock still blinks.
Some of us are fixing to get a Genie, thank you very much.
There you go. How many hours can you record on that thing?
I don't know, but you can record 5 shows at once.
Nice.
I won't have to go, I can only record 2 shows, so I can't,
Yeah.
We have different schedules in my household, and we all basically watch, like, me and Lee watch some things, and me and Vonda watch some things, and then we basically all watch the same thing a lot of time. So we all, if we're all not there, we all can't watch.
Right.
Like last night, just to give you a perfect example, Hawaii Five-0 and Grimm came on at the same time. Well, Lee's at her sister's house.
Mm-hmm.
So we got to turn the TV off because I can't watch either one of them.
Yeah,
but if you can record 5 at once, that's not going to bother you. You can watch
Right.
something else.
Right.
So,
yeah, that's why I have 2 DVRs functionally.
I got 2 TVs, but one of them's really not working. So.
Well, I have 1 DVR in here, especially for sports, wrestling, MMA, all of the above, and I have the one in my bedroom that I record certain things on.
Porn?
No. No. Hot in Cleveland. Just kidding. Actually, no, I'm not. Hot in Cleveland, Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.
I love S.H.I.E.L.D.
Arrow.
That's one of our shows. I don't do Arrow.
Flash.
I tried Arrow. I couldn't do it. After Smallville, Arrow just kind of sucked.
Well, I think right now is
I don't watch Flash either.
Flash and Arrow, both to me, solid shows. I have not started watching Gotham yet, and I have a feeling we'll pay the price for that.
Yes, you are. That's a great show.
But see, here's the thing, and I actually used to DVR Fallon because, well, think about it is he would.
I like the dude on CBS, Ferguson, and he's leaving. So
yeah, I know.
It sucks.
Well, I mean, think about it, and here's the thing: I like Seth Meyers, but Seth Meyers' show is horrid.
Yeah,
His
atrocious.
I could do a better job on monologue, and I can't tell a joke to save my ass.
I'd rather flip on my guilty pleasure about that time.
What, porn?
Jerry Springer.
Oh, God, no.
I just love to watch the train wreck. I mean, basically, like we were sitting there, me and Mama was talking the other day. How do these people go home?
Easy.
I don't give a damn how much you get paid, man.
They got
how do
paid.
these people go home?
They got paid.
Some of the things these people do, it's like, 60% of people watch NASCAR for the wreck. That's what you watch Springer for, because you know the wreck's coming.
Yeah, well, that's especially Talladega. Is the big one going to happen? Eventually, yes, it will. If you don't have the big one, you'll have three small ones.
Yeah.
Kind of like Snow White, the Seven Dwarfs. Think about it.
I got you.
Okay.
I've been to Adam's house. I know what that turned into.
Dent.
Hello.
I look at the train wreck that is WWE television sometimes, and this is the thing. You have people like Dolph Ziggler who are finally getting that A-list push again.
Are they?
Yeah. He's in the main event run.
Yeah, but I still think they're holding him back, though.
It's a systematic process. And
it really shouldn't be with him. He's ready. He's been ready.
He's been concussionized, too.
Yeah, I know. Well, a lot of that's because how hard he goes at it.
Yeah.
He goes out there and he gives everything he's got.
Every night. And, and what's funny is the promo that John Cena cut last night on SmackDown.
Didn't see it.
He gave the traditional all roads go through me. I've been here for 10 years.
Yay.
Step up, step aside. And, this is the one thing that I've actually got to sit back and say about the current storyline between the Authority and now directly with Seth Rollins. There's not a Cena sucks chant unless it's called out. Last night on SmackDown, the promo that John Cena cut, first off, that is one of the reasons why John Cena is still on top. 10 years running, the kid can cut a promo.
The kid can work.
Yeah.
I'm not ever taking anything away from what he does. In ring, out of ring, on the microphone, for the children, for Make-A-Wish, for T-shirt. I don't ever, it's just stale.
Agreed.
It's just stale. And everybody that I talk to on a weekly or daily basis is just tired of it.
And this is the thing that you have to look at in proper perspective because, everybody talks about the factor of him being crammed down our throats, which a lot of people will agree with that. When you are, even when it was the 5 moves of doom, and I love all the memes that went out when Cena would bring back a move from the prototype days or come out with it, or actually break loose with a new move. Everybody's like, that Undertaker just got pinned look. It's like, what did he just do?
I know you've heard me say this 100 times, and I'm not trying to jump all over you, although that's the way it sounds. I know I've preached the Attitude Era, and it's for a multitude of reasons.
Of course.
But one of the main reasons is because it never got stale.
Because
you had Steve, and you had The Rock, and you had DX, and you had The Undertaker, and they kept it fresh every week.
Right.
And for the past 3 years, it's just John Cena. And that's why
who is he going to beat this week?
And that's why Daniel Bryan got so hot, because he was different.
Right.
Of course, he gets hurt.
Can't help
because
that.
he's like Dolph Ziggler. He goes out there and he gives everything he's got.
Right. Well, you can also sit back and say that the Tombstone Pile Driver on the steel steps, which misfired, and then you had the chair shot to the head from Triple H, misfired.
Yeah, I'm not doubting you one bit that those contributed to it, but I think the way he works contributed more to it than that.
You've got 200-something plus pound guys who are executing moves and maneuvers, and if you don't hit it, it's like the old school rule of thumb. Taker goes for the tombstone, nose to nuts.
Yeah.
You've got to be
high.
Yeah, you've got to be that high up.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, even Daniel Bryan, as small as he was to Kane, wasn't high enough on that last tombstone.
Thank you, Glenn Jacobs.
But let's go.
Not that he would do that on purpose,
right?
But
he wouldn't.
He's a consummate professional. I have enjoyed Kane's work from day one. But
Isaac Yankem, yeah,
that wasn't a good move.
But every situation can backfire.
Sure. People make mistakes.
Yes, they do.
It's like, is it Clyde that hangs out with Wick?
Yeah, Clyde
says
Braddock.
he makes somebody do a move 1,000 times before, but 1,001 can be wrong.
True.
You can make a mistake.
Yeah, and that's the way that they teach over at the Underground School. That's the way they teach at Mad Dog's House of Pain, because you have to go through repetition, even if it's something as simple as a shoulder roll. No, back it up, time your roll out a little bit different. Instead of doing this, do this, because when the impact occurs, you want to make sure that you're in the best possible position.
Absolutely.
And
if you're Ryback, not to go back to CM Punk,
boy.
No. It's just to prove a point. It's coinciding with what we're talking about.
Right.
If you're Ryback, though, you can't miss the table. I mean, I know people make mistakes, but when you slam him, you can't miss the damn table.
I know. Or it's kind of like,
I like Ryback. I think he's got talent, but
I think he's got great potential.
I do too.
Real quick before I go any further, we're 28 after the hour. First off, we're gonna go ahead and blow through the bottom of the hour break since we were late getting started. Number two, for everybody who's been coming through BeyondRingside.com, Chatango is the place or the site that we use for our chat room over on .com, and they had suffered a DDoS attack over the last couple of days, and they are still trying to recover from it. That's why the chat room is not currently over at BeyondRingside.com, because their servers are down. So,
okay, now I understand, because I had no idea what you were talking about.
Yeah, direct denial of service attack. Basically, they got hacked.
I got you.
Or flooded is the easy way to put it. I'm not going to say hacked. That would be Sony.
Like your boy says, this is the 90s. Nobody says hacked anymore.
Yeah, right. People still say hacked in 2014. Trust me on that one.
All right, let's get back to better wrestling. Let's talk about Ring of Honor again.
Well, let me slide through this little portion.
Okay.
Because you brought up the idea of top to bottom talent. Ziggler finally getting back into that full scale mix. Yeah. Harper and Rowan on opposite sides of the fence getting pushed into that mix temporarily just to see what happens. Barrett on the way back. And I talked about this a little bit on Tuesday night, back to basics. And then you've also got, what is it, 3 people coming off IR now who are getting ready to get back
Roman's
in ring?
coming back.
Right.
Barrett's coming back.
Right.
And who else?
I'm trying to remember.
There's no timetable on Daniel yet.
Right.
And I know you and Robert have preached the praises of Wade Barrett. I'm not sold on him, even if he's healthy. I've never been sold on Barrett.
When Barrett is healthy, Barrett is good.
He's okay. And maybe a little bit better than okay, but he's not top-tier talent to me. He's in that... and I know he was top tier for a while. He's in that, speaking of going to Ring of Honor, by the way.
All right.
Alberto Del Rio group to me.
All right.
Hey, the rumor is that he's going to Ring of Honor.
I hope not.
Well, no, that's pretty well confirmed.
Shoot.
But it's Alberto Del something now. It's not Del Rio anymore. But
Right, it can't be.
Yeah.
Vince owns the copyright on
But,
the
I
name.
mean, he's in that Fandango, Alberto Del Rio, maybe a little bit better than average, but not top-tier talent to me.
Fandango will not be top-tier talent anytime in the next 3 years. There is no way.
Period.
The gimmick is just too one-dimensional.
He's in that Kofi Kingston.
Kofi has a better chance of being top-tier talent.
Never happened.
They tried it with Langston. And Big
and
E.
screwed him up.
Yeah, horribly.
Because from what I saw on NXT on YouTube, he was great.
Yes.
But when they brought him up here, things changed.
Of course, it's Vince.
I'll get into that in a minute.
Yeah, that's why, and I'm going to segue for a hot second, too, because I'm just going to sit back and say, I kind of like New Day, but I kind of don't like what they're doing with it.
It's okay. It's fly by night. Whatever. I mean, it's a ripoff of the Freebirds.
Everything. Yeah.
I mean, but whatever. I mean, they're trying to get, what I can't think of the little guy's name.
Xavier
Woods. And Big E some exposure, and that's fine. But they're never going to be there. They're never going to be top tier groups. They're just not. It's like what's that stupid thing with the bull?
Oh, Los Matadores.
They're never going to be a top tier tag team. Ever.
Of course not.
They
would be better as Primo and Epico.
Entertainment.
Right. And that is where I think that Vince is out of touch.
So far, it's starting to become scary.
Yeah.
And I'm going to tell you why I say that. There's several reasons, but I'm going to tell you the main reason. Because I've seen clips and bits and pieces of what happened Thursday.
Right.
I do not have the network because I'm not giving Vince a dime for personal reasons.
Okay.
But I've seen bits and pieces of the NXT TakeOver show,
Right.
which is run by Hunter. You can say what you want to say, and I've said plenty about Hunter, about burying people over the years. But if that's his baby, then Vince needs to step the hell out of the way. Because that was a well-run show.
That would be the second NXT takeover in a row that I've seen that had, or actually, second that I've seen directly that really has just made me sit back and go, where have these people been?
That show buries any pay-per-view, and I know you hear certain people, wrestling experts, nudge, nudge, wink, wink, kiss my fat hashtag hell damn an ass.
I thought it was hash brown.
Yeah, I was being nice.
Okay.
By the way, they said hash brown on ESPN this morning on
Sports
Center. I said, damn it, they stole it from me.
They did.
I went, I snapped my head around. I said, did he just say what I think he said? Anyway.
# question mark star exclamation point.
One day I'm actually going to hear that damn song. But, now you made me lose my train of thought. It was
Sorry about that.
It's all right. What I saw on NXT TakeOver 2, that had a thing after it. I don't remember what it was
right.
called. But the one that happened Thursday.
Right.
Was better. You know, like I said, you got some experts that think WrestleMania was great. I personally do not. I thought that Brock Lesnar beating Undertaker was a terrible move, and it's been backed up tenfold since then. I was happy that Daniel Bryan won the title at WrestleMania. I thought him and Triple H had a good match, and then the three-way match was okay, and Daniel Bryan got his WrestleMania moment. Blah, 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 blah. I'm happy for that. I didn't think WrestleMania, other than that, was that good at all. I thought Undertaker losing made it worse, but that's just my personal opinion. Especially with what's transpired with Brock in the title since then.
Right.
Anyway, I foresaw that coming. I told you that at WrestleMania. You didn't believe me? Fine, whatever. What I saw Thursday night is better than any pay-per-view Vince has put on in 2 years. And it's a bunch of rookies.
That's not
well, some. It's rookies to WWE.
Okay, Sami Zayn, not a rookie.
I know who Jericho is.
Yeah, really.
Kevin Steen was there too.
I know. Adrian Neville, definitely not a rookie.
I mean, and I'm talking about top to bottom. The women's matches, divas matches, whatever you want to call them.
Women's.
I mean, because Vince calls them divas, whatever.
Vince calls them diva on the main roster.
Yeah.
They get called women down at the NXT level.
And what happened to Charlotte Monday night was inexcusable. That should have never happened. That was terrible. And then made worse by what happened Thursday because of how good she looked.
Yeah.
The tag team matches, even though they got the Ascension losing now, they're still rocking the ring.
And there was a nice promo for the Ascension last night on SmackDown.
Did not see it.
But
even though they're losing now in NXT, fixing to come up to, and I'm afraid when they come up, it's not going to be good.
And you're going to hate this.
Probably.
With the exception of the spikes.
Oh, yeah. Of course. I'm not surprised.
Modified shoulder pads.
I'm not surprised. I mean, but if you're going to copy somebody.
Why not one of the two best teams of all time?
Why not the best? But I'm sure Animal's smiling somewhere.
I'm sure Hawk is too.
Yeah, well, yeah. I know his brother is because his brother's still there. But, I mean...
Strike that, reverse it.
Animal's brother is...
Animal's brother.
That's what I said, John Arenado.
Okay.
Or his son, who still plays for the Rams. Who laid an egg the other night, by the way. Anyway.
It happens.
Trey Mason fumbled the ball. I was pissed. Anyway.
You still got that Auburn blood running.
We'll get into that in a minute, too.
Yeah, buddy.
We got some big news yesterday. But
yeah, I know.
When it comes from women, I mean, just a whole show together. You couldn't single out anything that was bad. Even their not top talent put on a great show from what I've seen. Have you seen that on a pay-per-view, or especially on a Monday Night Raw in years? No. So that means that Triple H's baby's down here, and Vince is still running the show up here. That proves your point about how far Vince is out of touch. Because Vince thinks what's coming out on Monday night and what's coming out maybe on Friday night, I don't know if he's so much gives a damn about SmackDown. I'm sure he does.
I'm sure he does.
Not as much as he does Raw.
It's live.
Or the pay-per-views is Vince's baby. And they're bad. They're way out of touch.
I've got to sit back and say we all concurred and agreed that Survivor Series was better than we thought it was going to be. And this is the trick. Here's the trick, kids. Over the last year, most people, and think about this, if you've seen the WWE free previews I can't call them pay-per-views anymore. You're only paying $10 for the network. You're not paying $24.95 like you did for Ring of Honor on traditional in demand this past Sunday.
Worth every penny.
Worth every damn dime. But the thing about it is, we're not sitting back and we're not using temporal superlatives. We're not saying, hey,
what?
I'm getting there.
What does that mean?
There you go. We're not saying, man, that was good. Damn, that was great. Man, I can't wait for the next one. We're sitting back and everybody's going, that was better than I thought it was going to be.
Yeah, but we did use those superlatives after Ring of Honor went off the air.
Oh, yeah.
We was already making plans for March 1st when the next one comes out.
Yes, Ring of Honor has announced the fact that their next pay-per-view will emanate from Las Vegas, Nevada, and it is at this point unnamed, but it will be on Sunday, March 1. And there will be a pay-per-view party at my house.
I'll be there.
Yep, everybody pays $10 at the door. Bring your own booze. Just keep me away from the blueberry moonshine.
Apple pie moonshine's a different story.
There you go. But no, I make the reference to Out of Touch, and I want to get back to that for a minute.
I mean, he's 70 plus years old.
Still,
it's not
okay.
It's not what it was anymore.
Here's the scoop.
You can't run out the same 5 guys anymore.
As a DJ, I am questioned on a regular basis about my chronological age. I'm 48. And when I first started in the mid-'80s, there was a certain style of music that was hot. Here comes the 90s, here comes the 2000s, here comes the 2010s, here comes today.
So that was, let's just run it pretty much in chronological order. That was pop, hair metal, then grunge, right?
Pretty much.
Okay.
And then stuff that we can't pronounce.
And don't want to.
Well, as far as the rock genre goes, there have been a number of different acts come down the pike, but very few that make a long-lasting impression. Not every group can be Green Day. Not every group can be Metallica. Not every group can be Def Leppard.
Metallica's not Metallica anymore.
But still, you know what I mean.
Yeah, but I mean, I would like to recommend here at this moment that if nobody's heard it, one of the few bands that's out now that's very, very good, it's called Hailstorm.
Yes.
Very good.
Yeah. I mean, it's like, I'm still a huge Godsmack fan. Still a Disturbed fan.
Yes.
Then Sevenfold.
Well,
Breaking Benjamin.
Which Disturbed? The one where Nikki wrote the music for them, or the one where they decided they was going to write their own?
There you go.
The first album's all Nikki Sixx, and it's great.
Yeah, it is. Later album, Indestructible. Excellent song.
One song. The rest of the album's kind of cheesy.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, a lot of people don't know Nikki Sixx wrote that album, too.
I do.
There you go. You're also a Crew fan.
Another band that you need to check out is Nikki's new band, 6 a.m.
There you go. Very nice. Very good. And good radio show, too. I enjoy listening to it. And getting directly to the point. When I'm able to start racking off artists that are contemporary right alongside of artists that are traditional as far as time goes by, people sit back and go, okay, he still has a clue. He understands. Because
you have to in your business.
There is a difference between what is coming out now with August Alsina and some of the others, as opposed to going back a little bit to Young Jock, Jeezy, T.I., going back to Public Enemy, NWA, and the Sugar Hill Gang.
I know them.
There you go.
That's about it.
And it's the same thing as like, we can look at contemporary pop bands. And I hate to call them pop, but their sound indicates that that's what they are. Fall Out Boy, Good Charlotte. And I can't call them alternative. Even though it's like, and think about it, Fall Out Boy, what was it, the last major song they had out, My Songs Know What You Did in the Dark, Light 'Em Up?
Don't ask me because I don't know Fall Out Boy.
Love the song. I
don't know Good Charlotte either.
I'll play Fall Out Boy during the break.
I'm good.
Trust me on this
stick
one.
with my metal.
You've heard Light 'Em Up, I think, because it's been on a pay-per-view recently.
Yeah, probably.
There you go. But taking that back over to pro wrestling speak, and even all the way across the board, promoter speak, you've got Los Matadores, which is a cute distraction with El Torito. And this is all just a way to keep Hornswoggle gainfully employed. But it shows that Vince is out of touch. People in this day and age want good, credible, believable, understandable marketing ideas for wrestlers. Why do you think that when Dolph changed over and became a more straight-ahead Dolph Ziggler, people started making genuine comparisons to him and some of the best wrestlers that have been on the planet. Because the show-off proved it right. Primo and Epico were a better tag team because of the packaging and marketing. What screwed them up was Carlito. And y'all can go back and look it up. You'll know what I mean. Go from there. The best gimmick that Vince or creative has tagged on anyone in probably the last 3 years. There are two. One, Bray Wyatt. Two, the stunt double.
Bray Wyatt wasn't done by Vince.
Who was it done by?
Bray Wyatt.
There you go.
He came up with it.
But to keep things in perspective, Vince could have just as easily changed it. And a lot of people were sitting back and going...
If you think about it, Vince has changed it. He broke the Wyatt family up.
Well, of course. Money crunch.
I don't know. I don't think they
Look, if he had not lost over $400 and something million, I don't think he would have a problem keeping the Wyatt family together.
And why did he lose that?
Because of his own ego.
And stupidity.
No, ego.
Same thing. It's all rolled into one.
No, ego.
Yeah.
Difference between ego and greed. 7 days a week.
No, because he thought he could put his network out and he was just going to get over. And I sat here behind this microphone and told you it wouldn't work.
All right.
And it's not.
Just too much as far as there's so many different ways we can go into this. And I know as the second we get started, we'll get distracted. It always happens that way. But as far as it goes, yes, I genuinely believe McMahon is somewhat out of touch. Completely and totally? No. In quite... Hitman's nodding his head like he's going out of style. But being realistic about it, NXT is showing to be a better product than what is on the mainstream roster.
By far.
But you have to remember, there's also a novelty factor to it as well. Because we don't see it every day.
Maybe.
If it was the same people week after week on a multi-hour program format,
maybe
it would get ugly in a heartbeat.
I don't know. I just think you can match their top tier talent up against anything that's on the main roster right now.
Well, of course.
I mean, you can match Adrian Neville up against John Cena. You can match Sami Zayn up against Dolph Ziggler. I think you can definitely see the difference between who's running NXT and who's running WWE.
Popped out a headset. Gotta love it when that happens. Hang on, gonna give him a second to get back into the system because he also... hold on. Tell you what, do me a favor. Gonna go to a quick break. Folks, hang with us. We are gonna be back on the Saturday Showcase in just a minute. Howdy, friends. This is the Magic City Motormouth, Fast Eddie Layne, with your invitation to join yours truly, along with Mark Mabo Bowman and the Oracle of Ominous, the Wicked Nemesis, every Sunday night, 6:30 p.m. Eastern, 3:30 p.m. Pacific, for Beyond Ringside Live. Wrestling, mixed martial arts, sports talk, and a whole lot more. Keep your eyes open on BeyondRingside.com for all of upcoming show information, and of course, catch us on social media as well. Until then, we'll see you this Sunday, 6:30 Eastern, for Beyond Ringside Live on the Beyond Ringside Radio Network.
This is the seven-figure deal, Ace Rockwell, and as long as Wicked Nemesis isn't on the show, please listen. You're locked in to Beyond Ringside.
Sunday nights at 11 p.m. Eastern here on BeyondRingside.com. Join us for the Midnight Black Mass. Myself, the Reverend Dan Wilson, brings you the dark gospel of professional wrestling, uncensored, unedited, uncut, and not for the faint of heart. You can find out more about us at youtube.com/pottyhumor or subscribe at Potty Humor on iTunes and Stitcher today.
Hey, half-heads, it's a three-time NWA World Heavyweight Champion, Scrapline Adam Pierce, and just like me, you are locked in Beyond Ringside.
Equipment's back together.
A little bit of super glue, a couple of coat hangers,
Duct tape.
all of the above. flying by the seat of our pants, and I'm going to go ahead and get me another one of those. I already bought a second one, so I'm going to buy another one and take that one out of rotation. Either that or I'm going to find a damn AV plug for it. We had a systematic shortage in the headsets just a minute ago. That's why we went to quick break. Yeah, NXT. But I'm just going to... And Corso just made his pick. Army-Navy game a little bit later today, and I'm just going to sit back and say this. I don't care. Plain and simple. That's one of the games you actually kind of wish would come out to be a tie. Cause
I'd actually like to see Army win. Navy's won like 11 in a row.
Yeah.
Yeah. Even in our storied, and I say our because
Alabama, Auburn.
You have two different sides sitting here. Nobody's ever won more than 9 in a row, so
Right.
It gets kind of old after a while.
Well, yeah, it does. You know, kind of like John Cena winning the title. You knew I'd throw that one in there, didn't you? Amazing.
Just wait for 16 and 17. They're coming.
16 will happen. 17, I'm not sure about.
I guarantee it. I told you the network was a bad idea. You didn't believe me. I told you Brock losing to Taker losing to Brock was a bad idea. Him being champion was a bad idea. You didn't believe me. Trust me. 95% of the time. He will win 17.
Yes, remember, 65% of the times it works 100% of the time. Or what was that damn line from Anchorman? I think that was
Something
it.
like that.
Sex Panther, yeah.
It works all the time. Such a good movie.
Navy won last 12 meetings and leads the all-time series 58-49-7. Gotta love it when the graphics come up on the screen like they're supposed to.
Thank you, Sports Center. Hello.
But by the same token, putting everything together, yeah, you know, even though there's not really national ramifications, so to speak, for the Army-Navy game, it's just one that I enjoy watching. And that's me because I enjoy good old-fashioned, hard-hitting football. Football. Beer. Pizza. Wings.
And speaking about this game, what these kids have to do when their football careers are over. This ain't, well, let me see if I can get to the NFL. This is, we're going to go on to defend our country.
Yep.
And half the guys that are on the Navy staff will be in the Marines.
True.
So,
yeah, actually, right now, Navy is, well, that's a scary thought. Navy's actually favored by 15. Yes, go ahead, take it.
I'll wait.
Go ahead, take
Okay.
it.
We had a good night last night, Auburn Nation.
Continue.
We finally figured out how to hire a defensive coordinator. We will get a pass rush, I'm afraid. Or I'm happy to say.
You're afraid?
I don't know what a pass rush looks like. I hadn't seen one in about 3 years. Other than D Ford last year.
Yeah, wait a minute.
Speaking of the hiring of Will Muschamp.
Wait. What do you think Fairley was?
That was more than 3 years ago.
Fairley was 3 years?
2010. That's when we won the national championship.
It wasn't that far back.
Yes, sir. 2010.
Because Fairley just went up to play with his little sister in Dominican.
Negative. Nick Fairley left after the
Thought it was 3 years ago.
Nick Fairley left after the 2010 season. Same season that Cam left.
Bye. Aloha. And he is out tomorrow,
Because
right?
we had 2 seasons of crappy quarterbacks after that. And then we got Nick Marshall for the past 2 years.
Yeah.
2010. Look it up. Auburn
Ouch.
won the national championship that year.
'Cause I thought Fairley stayed one more season.
Nope. Fairley left the same season that Cam left.
Bye-bye. Aloha.
Just like I'm afraid that we're going to lose Duke Williams this year, too.
Yeah.
I think Sammy will come back, but I think Duke's going to go pro, and I hate it because that dude catches everything. You got a wingspan like a condor. And with Jeremy Johnson coming in next year, I think our offense goes from run-oriented to pass-oriented.
You
Yeah.
think?
I think so.
Mm-hmm.
And at least we're going to be able to put some pressure on the quarterback.
Depending on who you got on the line. And
Doesn't matter. Muschamp can coach him up, boy.
Yeah, I'm just waiting.
Just look at the staffs in this state now. You got Kirby Smart, Lane Kiffin, and Nick Saban at Alabama.
Yep.
You got Gus Malzahn and Will Muschamp at Auburn.
Right.
You got Gus Malzahn at Auburn. I don't know who the real offensive coordinator is, but we all know it's Gus Malzahn. They're going to be some good things happening in this state in the next couple of years.
And thing about it is, and look at McElwain going to Florida.
Yeah.
That's another familiar name for a lot of us.
Yeah. He got it done at Colorado State. I don't see why he couldn't get it done in Florida.
Very true.
He's got better talent in Florida.
Oh, Lord. Let me take a look at some things real quick. Tomorrow, let's run them down real quick. Let's go light speed. And we ended up taking the top of the hour break a little bit earlier because of the technical difficulties, so bear with us. We're going to go and breeze by that one and probably take the next break around the 15, which will be a late TOH. Oakland on the road, Kansas City. Kansas giving away 11.5.
Oakland has screwed up everything for me. They actually beat San Francisco last week.
I know it.
Damn it. They're supposed to go 0-16. Then they screwed up and won a game, and I was like, well, that's all right. Then they beat San Francisco.
Of all teams to beat.
That program has fallen into some...
It's imploded.
Ooh. Now they don't know if Kaepernick can play in the pros, and they're saying Harbaugh ain't going to be back, which I believe that. But, well, of course, Patrick Willis, the two starting linebackers, are out for the year. Now all of a sudden Crabtree can't catch, and Gore can't run, and... What the hell happened to y'all? You was in the NFC Championship game 2 years in a row.
Exactly.
I heard Jerry Glanville say it years ago on an NFL promo. NFL stands for not for long, and I guess that's true.
It is true. There's really not a dynasty anymore.
They got 4. The Saints got 4 wins, and they may win their division. That's how screwed up this is.
I thought the Falcons were ahead of the Saints in the division.
Oh, well, yeah, they're within one game. And
the Panthers aren't that far back.
No, they got that tie, though. How the hell do you tie? It's like kissing your sister. Jesus. How the hell do you have a tie? Oh, that's another story.
There you go.
Go ahead.
So who are you taking?
I will take whoever's playing Oakland.
Kansas City.
Yes.
You sure there's not another surprise in there?
No. But I like Kansas City's coach, and I don't think he'll let it happen, but I could be wrong. But
we could all be shocked tomorrow in the early game. I'm taking Kansas City, too, on a guardedly optimistic basis. Jacksonville on the road to the Ravens. Ravens giving away 13.5.
I would take the Ravens. Probably cover 2.
Correction, it's up to 14.
I'd still probably take them.
Yeah. I'll take the Ravens straight up. I think there might be a miracle on the road. Don't ask me why. I am going to take the Ravens straight up.
To all Bama fans, I hope y'all enjoyed Amari Cooper. He'll be wearing a Jacksonville Jaguar uniform next year.
I am so sorry. Well, at least
maybe a Raider. He'll be wearing a Raider uniform.
As long as it's not a Cleveland jersey. We know what happens to Bama players when they go to Cleveland.
I don't know. Manziel's going to be starting.
Cleveland, you go to Cleveland, you get hurt sooner or later.
That's right. You might have somebody that can get in the ball.
Captain Kangaroo could put up a wounded bird, and Amari Cooper could find a way to catch it.
That's a good point. That's like I said to somebody.
And who's been riding that train for the last couple of years?
Oh, I ain't argued with you.
I was one of the first people to sit back and say, you need to watch this kid.
I said it in the bowling alley. I said, it was all impressive, and if Auburn scores 44 points against Alabama, they should win. But if you have no pass rush, my 350-pound ass could stand behind the Alabama line and just throw it as far as I can throw it, and Mark Cooper run under it.
He'd find a way to catch it.
Yeah. Of course he would.
Pittsburgh on the road to Atlanta. It is actually Pittsburgh giving away 2 on the road.
You pick. The Falcons, right?
After the comeback occurred.
Your boy had a big game last week.
Yeah, they had the comeback of the decade.
I'm talking about Julio.
I know.
230-something yards?
Yeah, like I said, they had the comeback of the decade. See, here's the thing, and this is what really tickles the hell out of me about a lot of these pundits. The fact that they'll sit back and talk about the collapse of Green Bay. Why can't it be the fact that the Falcons actually just woke the hell up? I mean, let's be real about it for a minute here.
Falcons didn't play Green Bay last week. Green Bay played somebody else. Green Bay won last week.
Think about it. Monday night.
What happened? I don't remember.
The Packers were blowing the Falcons off the field, and all of a sudden Atlanta comes back to lose by 7.
Oh, yeah, well. Win's a win.
And that was the Monday night game.
That's right.
Because I was hungover watching it. was not hungover. Yes, the hell
So
I
you should have
was.
drank more.
Good idea. I didn't drink it.
To quote a line from Tin Cup, I'm tired of watching all the money leave town. Make more birdies.
Atlanta, Sunday, early game, dog at home. I'm taking the Falcons.
Of course you are.
And so are you. You're just trying to find a way to be creative.
Who are they playing again?
Pittsburgh.
I'm going to take Roethlisberger.
Okay.
They got beat last week, so he's probably pissed.
Atlanta got beat.
I know Tomlin is. I'd like to have Tomlin my coach. He's fiery.
Although I do have to say, according to this report, Julio is a little bit questionable.
Then I definitely take Pittsburgh.
There you go. Houston on the road to Indianapolis. Indianapolis only giving away 6.5.
I like J.J. Watt.
Watt versus Luck. What Luck?
Luck's tough at home. What's the spread?
6.5.
I'll take the Colts, but I don't think they cover.
I'll take the Colts, and I think they do cover.
I don't think so. Not with Watt. He's a beast.
Cincinnati on the road to Cleveland, the Battle of Ohio.
By the way, talk about first-round busts in the NFL.
Yes.
Jadeveon Clowney.
Ouch.
Now he's having microfracture surgery on his knee, and he's going to be out 9 months.
Oh, there goes his season.
There goes most of next season.
Yeah. That's not good.
No. He's in that Ryan Leaf category right now.
Yeah.
And, man, that boy was a beast at Carolina.
They've got Cincinnati and Cleveland. It was a pick 'em a little while ago. Now it's Cleveland by 1.
I'm going to take the Browns. I'm gonna think Johnny plays. I'm going to think Johnny does well. I think Johnny's got a chance to be a star in this league, and I'm gonna think he does good.
I'm going to hate myself for
Because
this.
the worst, if you go back and do your research, which you probably haven't, and that's okay because you've been busy, the worst pass defense in the NFL is the Cincinnati Bengals. So, I'm going to think Johnny shows out a little bit.
I think it's going to be a shootout.
Very well could be, but I think Johnny wins.
I'm taking the Bengals. I'm going to hate myself in the morning, but I'm going to go ahead and do it. The game that the former crew of TBD hated every year.
That would be New England versus Miami.
That exactly. New England, the Patriots on the road. Excuse me. Patriots at home, favored by 8 over the Dolphins.
Wick, I love you, bud. You all right in my book, but as bad as I hate to, I got to pick the Patriots. They don't lose at Foxborough.
I'm going for New England.
And it's like Miami's kind of imploding again, too.
Yeah.
I don't think their coaches will be back next year.
I'm going to go ahead and say Patriots cover, overs 47.5. I'll take the over 2. I think that could easily be a shootout.
It could be, but it could be a 21-20 game too, or 14-7 game too.
That's true.
Because Brady's usually pretty good, but all he's got is Gronk, and Miami ain't been scoring a lot of points. So if I was to have to pick the over and under, I'd probably go with the under. But I think Miami covers. I mean, I think New England covers.
Carolina hosting Tampa Bay. Favorite
A
Carolina 3.
A great case of who sucks less without our starting quarterback. Since Cam's not playing.
Nope.
I don't know, man. Tampa's awful. They're playing in Jacksonville?
Carolina.
In Carolina? I'll take them.
Jacksonville. That was 2 games.
I was thinking the blue colors. I got them confused. I'll take Carolina, maybe.
I have to take Carolina on this one. It's going to be a case of let's suck less bowl.
And the bad part is I really like the coach at Tampa, the one that used to be at Chicago.
Go figure this. After the implosion that has occurred with the Washington Redskins.
Ooh, that's a good word.
Yeah, no, we've used that one today. They're only a 6.5 underdog to the Giants on the road.
That's not going to be close.
I'm taking the Giants.
Absolutely.
But I'm also taking the under. It's 47.
Do you want your starting quarterback at Colt McCoy or Eli Manning? I know Eli hadn't had the best year in the world, but they've also instilled a new offense. But you got Odell Beckham Jr., you got Eli Manning, and you don't know what the hash brown hell damn ass you got in Washington right now. No,
you really don't.
You don't. I'd take the if it was by 20 points, I'd take the Giants.
To use the Chris Bermanism, for as much as New York has been rumbling, bumbling, stumbling, I've got to take them over the Redskins, plain and simple.
Pardon this pun, folks. I probably better not say that. That would be a little rude. I'll say this: the Washingtons is atrocious. That has been mismanaged from the top to the bottom.
Yeah,
and that RG3's included in that.
Yeah,
but as much promise as they had when he came in and won Rookie of the Year, that has went so far the other way.
Exactly. Green Bay on the road at Buffalo, giving away 4.
So it's Green Bay by 4?
Yes.
I'll take Green Bay. They're a machine right now.
I'm taking Green Bay to cover and probably get the over, which is 50 right now.
Although I've won 3 or 4 times this year picking Buffalo, because Buffalo was like my sweetheart team, but I don't know. I gotta go with.
I gotta go with the Pack.
I gotta go with Rodgers. Rodgers is a stud, man.
Detroit hosting the Vikings and favored by 7.
I'll take the Lions. Minnesota's making strides, but they're not there yet.
Yeah. Little by little, but not yet.
And that's a mess with Adrian Peterson, too.
I haven't heard the latest stories, and I don't think I want to.
No.
You can tell me during the break. Denver on the road to San Diego, division game. Denver favored by 4.
I'm going to say this. I learned a long time ago to pick with my head, not with my heart.
Right.
And even I've told you that I didn't think Auburn was going to win a football game when we were picking before. So that proves my point. But I'm going to break my rule. I'm going to pick with my head or with my heart. I picked Denver. Although I think, would I be shocked if San Diego won? Absolutely not. Because I like Rivers too.
I'm going to go with the dog at home theory, even though it is not a Monday night. And yes, this is my second major underdog that I'm picking on this one, even though it's only a 4-point difference. I'm going with San Diego.
Couldn't blame you a bit. Especially after that putrid passing performance that Peyton Manning turned in last week.
I'm just going to ask one question. Which Phillip Rivers will show up Sunday?
Which defense is more important?
Well, still, you can have the greatest defense in the world, but if your quarterback doesn't have his head in the game or is not physically there.
Oh, he's going to be – Brett Favre is the closest – I was getting to Brett Favre and I said it too early. Phillip Rivers is the closest thing out there to Brett Favre. He's going to sling it and try no matter what's going on,
right.
Even when he shouldn't. I don't know. Manziel's pretty close. I mean, gunslinger not, but Romo maybe. I don't know, but
yeah.
Hey, they're winning. They could go 10-6 and not make the playoff.
Yeah, no, in their division.
And Atlanta could go 5-12 and win their division.
No kidding.
Anyway, go ahead.
Okay. Let's see. You went Denver, I went San Diego, right?
Yes.
Okay. Let's see. San Francisco, Seattle. Seattle hosting, giving away 9.5.
That's another atrocious program right now. I'm taking Seattle.
I got Seahawks.
But knowing our luck, 49ers will put it back together for one game.
That'll be a scary damn thought. Dallas on the road to Philadelphia, the rematch. Philly by 3.
I'll take the Eagles.
Ditto that.
It's December and it's Romo. I'll take the Eagles.
And that game is going to take place while TLC is on, or it's TLCS.
Does anybody care? No.
No. We're going to cover those in a couple of minutes, too. Monday night game. New Orleans on the road to Chicago. New Orleans by 3.
They got New Orleans favored in Chicago.
Uh-huh.
Wow. I'm about to think about that. You go ahead. I'm going to think about that for a minute.
North Dakota State scored early. Lee Corso's a happy person.
They have the second ugliest uniforms on the planet.
They have the same color as Green Bay.
No, they don't. Green Bay doesn't have that much yellow in it. Not that much yellow. They don't wear yellow shirts. They got a yellow stripe. That's all they got.
And numbers.
Yeah, well, okay, I can deal with that. The first ugliest uniforms on the planet is Oregon, as we well know.
No, Maryland.
Oh, no, good point. Those are bad, too. Those are very bad.
You have just heard history, kids, because for the first time in a couple of weeks, I made him stop and go, oops, you're right.
That's a good point. Maryland's are bad.
In order, Maryland, then Oregon, depending on the week, And from there is one other, and it was about 4 weeks ago when Pittsburgh Steelers did the throwbacks that looked like the prison stripes.
Have you seen the Bengals when they do the throwbacks?
Yes.
Oh, my God.
Yes.
And then you got the one, it was either Georgia or San Diego State or somebody. They have like a silver helmet with a red stripe when they wear the alternative. Yeah. It looks like the Red Power Ranger. That's awful, too.
Yeah. Anybody who... Don't even get me started. So what did we agree on? Saints or Bears?
I told you to pick because I was still thinking about it.
Okay. Here's the thing. Jay Cutler is not a great quarterback. Jay Cutler is a passable quarterback who has just been lucky as hell and has gotten...
He has $1 million talent and a 10-cent head.
He's got $1 million talent and 10-cent execution.
He's got a cannon, dude. And he's got Alshon Jeffries and Brandon Marshall to throw to.
I'm going to apologize. Jay Cutler chokes worse than a rookie porn star.
You're right. He's got Forte in the backfield, Alshon Jeffries, and Wick would know the name of the guy. The one that's got bipolar disorder on the outside.
Okay.
The one that's so good. And he just can't win.
I'm taking New Orleans on the road, and I know I'm going to regret that.
Wow. Are we really going to take New Orleans?
Look, they
can't win on the road.
Who haven't been winning at home either.
And now can't win at home to go to Soldier Field and beat the Bears?
On a Monday night.
God.
I'm taking that as the upset special.
I'm going to have to agree with you.
Even though it's only by 3, at least according to Vegas. Vegas hates us this year.
No, we hate us because we ain't been picking worth a damn.
No, we've been okay.
We got better the past couple of weeks. But
yeah.
First couple of weeks out of the game, we was bad.
Well, there were too many independent variables. That's why I don't like picking early in the year. It's like for me, college football, I don't like picking until after week 3. That way I can see exactly who's got what and who's got healthy.
Speaking of college football.
Yes.
I want to ask your opinion.
Okay.
The Bowl Championship Committee.
Okay.
First of all, and I'll let you elaborate before I ask the second part of my question. Did they get it right?
Yes. Yes, beyond a shadow of a doubt, yes.
Are you sure?
I'm not a fan of Ohio State, but the fact of the matter is I'm going to have to go ahead and say this. They were wrong for keeping TCU at the number 3 position for as long as they did because of the head-to-head matchup between them and Baylor.
Well, they only had TCU at number 3 for 1 week.
Still, no, 2 weeks.
No, they had them at number 4 first.
Okay, I apologize.
They flip-flopped Florida State. And they had them in the top 4, yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
They had them in the top 4. 99 decibels, get louder. 100 decibels, get louder. In other words, copy Hitman during a pay-per-view. Damn it!
Especially WWE pay-per-view.
Yeah, I don't know. You were having fun with the ROH
because
show.
It was good. The other one's
I know.
It sucks.
I know. But
we digress.
I know. TCU having lost the head-to-head with Baylor, regardless of the out-of-conference schedule, Baylor should have been where TCU was, and by the same token, one of the things that everybody looks at is the factor of a conference championship game. That is a pivotal point for a lot of things that take place right now. The Southeastern Conference, the ACC, the Big Ten, and the Pac-12 all have conference championship games. So you have 4 conference champions going right now. They do have an outright, so to speak, or a shared championship in... Hold on.
That's the problem.
Because of the factor of the way the bylaws are written, if there is a situation where co-champions are in place, the head-to-head tiebreaker will crown an undisputed champion. They have shown that on SportsCenter, NBC Sports Network, and a number of different shows. They have not outright acknowledged the fact that Baylor is the Big 12 champion.
Because they say they're not.
Even though by their own bylaws,
I
they
agree.
are. They are.
I agree.
Now, this is the thing I'm going to sit back and say. At this point, the Big 12 needs to find a way to bring in 2 or possibly 4 schools.
Why can't they just have a championship with 10 schools?
The NCAA says no championship unless you've got 12 teams minimum.
Okay, I did not know that.
Yeah,
okay.
That's an NCAA
They get
thing.
2 schools.
They need to get at least 2 schools. I don't care if they bring in,
Or write the bylaws.
Oh, Eddie, you almost chomped it right there. I don't care if you find a way to revive UAB and bring them in.
Yeah, well, that's not going to happen.
You never know. Hashtag fire Watts. Hashtag free UAB.
I'm going to give you, I have heard on a couple of shows your opinion on the UAB thing, and I will tell you mine very fast and let you finish.
Go ahead.
Basically,
Layne.
Paul Bryant Jr. walked into Bill Watts' office and flopped it on the table and said, "This is what I want."
Yeah, that's exactly
That's
what
all that you need to know.
Yeah.
All that other BS is just that. Paul Bryant Jr. didn't want UAB having a football team anymore, and he went, "Do what I say." It's that simple.
I think that was the Springs.
It's that simple. I mean, he just flopped it out for him. But anyway, back to what we said. You said they got it right. Okay.
Yes, I think that they, in my humble opinion, they got it right due to the factor of we have 4 acknowledged and recognized conference champions in the playoff right now.
Agreed.
Alabama, the Ohio State University. I have to say it like that just for purposes. The Florida State Seminoles.
No, it's not the. It's just Florida State.
I know. Well, in theory, it can be called the. Still 99 for it. We're watching the Coastal Carolina North Dakota State game on ESPN right now, and I'm watching. Somebody has a handheld decibel meter to show how loud the crowd is, and they are cranking at 99 and 100 decibels. 147 is airplane takeoff level.
That's Seattle territory.
Yeah.
That's what they do at Seattle.
12th man, yeah.
And Kansas City.
But as far as it goes, yeah, I think they got it right. Will we know for sure? No. Will there always be room for speculation? Yes. Of course, this whole thing has been a cluster bang ever since they said it was going to be 4 teams. I said from the get-go, don't worry about a Final Four until you get past 8. I have said this from square one. That way you can take care of the fact that you've got technically five power conferences, because I don't call the Big East a power conference in football. And there's another one. I mean, I really don't. I'm sorry if that offends anybody, and I don't mean for it to, but the Big East is not a power conference in football, just like you have some of the other mid-majors as far as the conference goes. I felt from square one there needed to be 8 instead of 4 because of the fact you've got 5 power conferences. That way, that 5th power conference wouldn't be shut out. You could have 5 champions represented, 1 mid-major and 2 at-large bids. That's been my thing the whole time. That way it's like, okay, Alabama doesn't get shut out if they're number 5. Ohio State doesn't get shut out if they're number 5. You can have the argument right now that both Baylor and TCU deserve to be in there because of their in-conference and out-of-conference schedule. Yeah, okay, West Virginia. Leave me alone. Or Virginia Tech.
Who beat Ohio State?
Exactly. I mean, you have to look at things like that in every perspective. Would they allow both TCU and Baylor in right now if there were 8 teams involved? Yes. Yeah, they would. They'd have an easy argument. Well, okay, guess what? Because of the bylaws of this, you have co-champions, even though Baylor should be the conference champion by virtue of the tiebreaker, right?
Yes.
Okay. And then you still have 2 other, you can either pick another mid-major and another top-ranked team, or pick the number 7 and 8 ranked teams in the country. That's where I'm sitting back going, 4 was a cute, novel concept.
That's what they.
8
it's
smarter.
what they're going to start with.
8 was smarter from the get-go.
I disagree and agree at the same time. You got 6 major conferences. I know you say the Big East isn't, but I mean you got Virginia Tech and all them in there. So
having 4 was a cute.
You get 6 major championships. All of them have to have championship games. I piss on the Big Ten doing this. You make it where they got some kind of championship reference. All 6 of the major winners get in. Then you got 2 at-large bids, and you go with it.
Yeah, that's
1 plays 8, 2 plays 7, 3 plays 6.
That's where it needs to be.
But and we don't need to get 64-team.
Oh, frag, no.
Look, if you're the 5th ranked team in the country, being TCU, you have a legitimate beef of why you're not in the championship. Baylor or TCU, whichever.
Baylor.
Either one. You have a legitimate reason why you're not in there. If you're number 9 in the country, if you're the 9th place team in the country, shut up. You don't belong there.
No.
They got a 12-year contract with it this way. I don't think it'll make it that long.
It won't make it that long.
I think in 3 or 4 years they change it. But
I think in less than that. I wouldn't be surprised if it's not changed after next year.
Maybe. And my second question to the problem is this. Yes, I agree. I think they got it right. I think Ohio State belongs there, especially to do what they did with a backup quarterback and now a third-string quarterback.
Yep.
But here's my question. Do they need to have it every week?
No.
I think they need to have one at the end of the year.
I think it should be cut to 3. First one after week 6, then after week 9.
Because the reason I say what I say is because if the committee comes out at the end of the year and says the top 4 teams in the country are Alabama, Florida State, Oregon, and Ohio State, nobody has a problem with it. No, if that's all they say.
Right.
You know, and then they say Baylor 5, so-and-so 6, whatever. Nobody's going to argue with them. But the fact of how they got there is a problem.
Right.
How TCU is 3rd the week before.
And then drops to number 6.
And they win 55-3, and they drop to number 6. That's a problem.
Yeah. And see, this is where I'm still going to sit back and say this. I understand and appreciate the gravity and the respect that should be there for an undefeated season. Do I put, based on the way they played this year, Florida State in the same caliber as Ohio State or Alabama?
Yes.
Or TCU?
Yes.
No.
You have to. They haven't lost.
They haven't lost, but
and
look at the
way... they played in ACC. Look at their non-conference and their ACC schedule.
Look what happens almost every time an SEC team plays an ACC team.
I don't disagree with you. I'm just saying, as much as I hate Jameis Winston, and I'm not a fan of Florida State, they haven't lost a regular season game in 2 years.
I know.
And there has to be something for that.
Georgia Tech was so close.
How many's been close? North Carolina State's been close. Georgia Tech's been close. They've been behind like 6 times this year.
Yeah.
But by God, they find a way to win. You got to give them that.
Yeah, you do. Folks, tell you what, we're going to go to that break. We're going to split the difference at 20 after the hour on this 13th day of December. We're going for the extended break on this one. We will be back on the Beyond Ringside Saturday Showcase in just a minute.
This is Awesome Austin Creed, the smartest man in this industry called pro wrestling, the valedictorian of this business. You are locked in to Beyond Ringside.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is WrestleRage from WrestleRage Radio, coming to you from the Beyond Ringside Radio Network. Join myself and my co-host, Super Stan Grubb, Sunday nights at 9 p.m. Eastern, as we present WrestleRage Radio, where we rant and rave on everything in the world of pro wrestling. Sometimes we'll have a guest. Sometimes it'll be just me and Stan BSing about the sport that we love, pro wrestling. Check us out. Tune in Sunday nights, 9 p.m. Eastern, 8 p.m. Central, only on the Beyond Ringside Network.
This is Ben Masters locking it down with Beyond Ringside. Don't miss it. Be there.
The To Be Determined Show live Wednesday nights, 9 Central Standard Time. Join myself, the Oracle of Ominous, the Wicked Nemesis, the Grand Design, Clyde Braddock, and the Magic City Monroe, Fast Eddie Layne, as we take you to the edge of uncensored. Yes, we go uncensored, so make sure you have your earmuffs. Ask your parents, for those of you that are a little young, maybe under 18, but make sure if you have any heart conditions or any mental defects, please listen, because they may take effect right here, live, every Wednesday night, 9 Central Standard Time. Beyond Ringside Radio Network, beyondringside.com.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is Bill Behrens, and you're watching, you're listening, you're experiencing Beyond Ringside, and you are a better person for it. Trust me.
Going at 29 before the top of the hour. Welcome back in Beyond Ringside Saturday Showcase live from Studio 1. Fast Eddie Layne behind the control panel. Welcoming back in the Hitman, Big Daddy Cool, Ryan Adcock.
Yes, sir.
What's going on?
Same old, same old.
It's a beautiful day in paradise.
Auburn got a defensive coordinator. Skies are blue. It's a good day.
And who have y'all got in what bowl?
Wisconsin and some bowl in Orlando.
Hey, Sunburn. Good idea.
Yeah, we get the best running back in the country a finalist for the Heisman, and we can't stop the run. Yay! Only thing that would make it better was if Muschamp's going to coach in the bowl game.
Yeah. Will they let that happen?
I don't think so. I don't know how that works. I know he's not coaching Florida.
Yeah. He has gone bye-bye in that regard. Where is... okay.
Speaking of which, Wisconsin's coach is not coaching in the bowl game either.
No, they're not.
The AD is. Alvarez.
Let's take a look at some of these things real quick. Tomorrow night, TLC and Stairs. TLCS. There's some decent matches on the card, but...
I won't get to see it because my connection will probably be busy.
Midget porn?
No, the person's house I would normally watch it at will probably be busy.
Dean Ambrose, Bray Wyatt, Tables, Ladders, and Chairs. The one that they started setting up a month ago at the previous pay-per-view. This has possibilities to be Match of the Year candidate.
I'll tell you a Match of the Year candidate. And that's Adrian Neville and Sami Zayn.
True. I'll agree. These two, because remember the previous NXT when they were in the Fatal 4-Way. And that was just incredible. Plain and simple. And Zayn and Neville did it all over again.
And then Sting got in the middle of it. But that's one of my favorite tag teams of all time anyway, is El Generico and Kevin Steen. So,
well,
fighting the other of my favorite tag teams, the Briscoe Brothers.
There you go. I'm really torn on a number of things. Considering the way things have gone.
The fact that you're actually thinking that WWE put on a good match.
Look, the Bray Wyatt...
Haha, that was hyperbole, sir.
I know. The Bray Wyatt Dean Ambrose match from the previous pay-per-view was good all the way to the end.
All the way to the end.
What could they possibly set up for after this? Because Hell in a Cell was a previous pay-per-view.
Well, Elimination Chamber used to be the next pay-per-view, but they have a new name for it.
Yeah.
So I don't know what they're setting up now.
Logistically speaking.
Maybe they'll pull a Brock Lesnar and win the title and run off to Minnesota. Yay! I don't have to be on TV for 3 months in a row.
Don't even get me started.
Let's quote Vince. They're a special attraction.
They're your champion. Your champion should be visible. Don't get me started today.
I didn't get my chance.
Coming back to it, let's stick with the pay-per-view for a minute, then we can digress.
Okay.
Ambrose Wyatt, your thoughts?
I think it's got a chance to be a good match. I think these are two up-and-coming stars. Well, up-and-coming, hell, Ambrose has been here forever. If you go back and look at Shakara and all that stuff.
Well, not Jakar, AIW and some of the other promotions.
I think he wrestled in Shakara, too.
I think he may have. Moxley, I think he did.
I think he did, too. Because I think that's the first time I saw him. But, wake up, my boy. I was talking about Shakara. It is a rarity. But I think it's got a chance to be a decent match. I hope it is, anyway.
I think the word decent is going to be an understatement. I think legitimately they have the possibility to tear the house down.
I don't think Vince will let him.
I think he will.
I don't. I think Vince is so far out of touch he didn't have a clue what tearing the house down means anymore. It's just me personally.
I've got to sit back and argue due to the fact that there are some circumstances where you can't help but let it go the way it should go. Now, remember, there will be no blood on this one. Sad but true.
This is the man that made the call for Brock to beat Taker. This is the part in the jury trial where the defense lawyer, being me, looks at the judge, being you, and says, "And this is where the defense rests, Your Honor."
You did read Ted's column.
No, I didn't. I have no idea what you're talking about.
Actually, let me go ahead and say this for those who have not had a chance to check it out. Head over to beyondringside.com, and in the top section you will see Ted Guinness has a brand new edition of The Pint where he does talk about the court of public opinion in Vince McMahon versus CM Punk. Amazing you would bring that up this week.
See, I didn't get my chance after Vince McMahon. We'll get to that in a minute. Go ahead with your pay-per-view.
Okay. So, who do you think is going to pull it?
I think it'll be Dean Ambrose.
See, I'm going to go and give the nod to Ambrose on this one anyway, even though with the repackaged, so to speak, Bray Wyatt, you also have Ambrose, who is just on the tear. I mean, I'm not a big fan of the nickname the Lunatic Fringe.
Oh, God, every time he says that, I want to throw up.
Yeah, I know.
Oh.
I want Red Rider to come out and play the song, which, I wonder if that's a possibility.
I thought you were fixing to say, I want a Red Rider to come out to shoot Michael Cole in the ass.
Nope. This ain't a Christmas story. It's all...
don't be talking about a Christmas story.
It's all fun and games until somebody shoots an eye out. John Cena versus Seth Rollins table match. They have set this one up to where it could also, if they let them both do what they do best, I am very guardedly optimistic, with more optimism than guarded. Can John Cena go at the pace that Seth Rollins can lay down? Can Seth Rollins put things together for the methodology in play that John Cena is used to? I think you've got a great contrast in styles there. Rollins has come a long way in the WWE formula. Cena is the WWE formula. I think if these two do what they do best, it's going to be a damn good match. And I do think Cena goes over. Hitman?
I don't think they're going to take that number one contender away from him. But if Seth Rollins doesn't curb stomp John Cena through a table, I'm going to riot.
This would be one of those matches where, this would be one of those table matches where I think it's accidental. But that's just me. The match that has more question marks than a standardized test has fill in the blanks.
C. Oh, I'm sorry.
Fill in the blank, yeah. Or fill in the dot, fill in the hole, fill in the circle. That's what I was trying to say.
Color in the bubble.
There you go. Ryback versus Kane.
I'm sure they'll put Ryback over because they job out Glenn to everybody. So,
you know what's funny? I'm looking at Kane in the promo shot right now. If Kane would not be the perfect person to play the Sandman in the next Spider-Man movie, I don't know who the hell will. Haircut and all. I think that would be hilarious as hell because remember, what's his name did the similar gimmick? Oh, shoot. Any other time I can remember who it is.
What movie?
Spider-Man. Played Sandman. He used to be on Wings.
Oh, you talking about Church?
Yeah.
Yeah. He was in it for like a cup of coffee.
Yeah. I think Kane would be because the look that he has and the demeanor. I think he'd be a great Sandman for Spider-Man's movie.
Lowell from Wings.
That's it. Thank you.
Something Hayden Church. I can't think of his name.
I know who you're talking. Thomas Hayden Church.
That's him.
People with 3 names. And there's another one that I still missed to
It
this
is kind
day.
of freaky, isn't it?
Yeah.
People with 3 names.
Yeah.
James Earl Ray.
Eddie Lane Powell. I'm freaky, and I admit
A
it. A little bit. Who do you think, Ryback or Kane?
I told you. I think they put Ryback over because they job out Glenn to everybody.
I think they've got I think they have a little bit more renewed faith in Ryback right now, and for some reason, Ryback does appear to be reckless every once in a while, especially when he starts getting the moment in play. But I do think they put Ryback over on this one. Tag team title match: Ms. Dow and Ms. Uri versus the Usos.
I think they keep the titles where they are because
So-
that might be the best thing they got going right now. Because I hate it because he's getting jobbed the way he is, but he's funny.
I don't think he's getting jobbed in
Well,
this
I mean,
particular
he's
regard.
good enough to be wrestling out on his own.
Always has been.
I know that.
But the thing about it is, and here's the trick to this, because Vince made the comment about...
He's made chicken salad out of chicken.
Yeah. Damian Sandow, in my humble opinion, is standing the test of time to where he is taking what is being given to him by WWE Creative and is turning it into complete and total gold. When he was doing the different characters every week, and now he's doing the stunt double, the fans are behind him even more now than they were booing him when he was You're Welcome. And from that vantage point, Miz is getting more heat now than he has in a while. This crap about Naomi and the recording contract and all the other stuff is just
stupid.
Blah.
It's just total diva drama.
Which I'm sick of. I'm genuinely sick of it. In a genuine battle of tag teams, which let's cut through the crap.
In a genuine battle of tag teams, I'm going to go with the Usos.
Yep.
But that's not going to happen.
But this is a WWE formula.
Yes, sir.
I'm going with Mizdow.
Me too.
Like I said, Miz has more heat now, and Sandow is more over now, or just as over now. Look, even when he was heel, I'm sorry, I liked the character. And, that had to hurt. Of course, it took 2 to throw him down, too. North Dakota State currently leading 14-10 over Coastal Carolina.
Stay on topic, sir.
Okay. So, yeah, I'm going with Mizdow because it's one of the hottest things going, unfortunately. Sad but true. Thank you, Metallica.
The Black Album.
3 really good songs and some other...
Oh, there's more than 3.
Well, The God That Failed, A Wolf and Man, Unforgiven. All 3 exceptional songs.
Sad but True, Enter Sandman, they're all good.
Yeah, Sad but True and Enter Sandman they were pop rock.
I disagree. But that's...
And then you have Nothing Else Matters, which is like, damn.
The video is awesome for
it is. Eric Rowan versus The Big Show. Big Red versus Big Show in a steel stairs match. I don't see how
I'm so tired of Big Show. The wind blew. I'm going to be a heel today. The wind blew. I'm going to be a face today. Stop. We sitting here
the madness.
Before the pay-per-view, and we looked at each other and said, who's going to turn? Big Show.
Yeah, we did. Where's the swerve going to be? Big Show.
Big Show. I mean, it's not a swerve. It's like, that's what I was ready for.
Yeah, everybody was thinking Ryback, including myself at first.
I could have bought Ryback. That would have been different. I could have bought Ziggler. Would have been good. But we all went
Ziggler has
Big
too
Show.
much momentum. I wouldn't have gone for Ziggler.
I'm just saying it would
have been a bigger swerve if it had been Ziggler.
But we look at it and we go, it's going to be Big Show. These are the guys that took my house and took my job, and I sued them and got my job back, and now I'm going...
And I played the country record backwards.
And now I'm going to kiss their ass. Yeah. I say Rowan, but who cares?
I say Big Show.
I say Rowan.
I'm actually going to say Big Show.
Or Big Red, as he's called now.
Yeah, I know. I'm sorry. I hear the name Big Red. I think back to the 70s, 80s with Big Red Reese. Great guy. Great in-ring talent. Good big man. Very underrated, very overlooked. Big Red Reese was just absolutely tremendous in ring.
Speaking of the color red, I heard somebody's getting a week-long WWE tryout at NXT.
Who dat?
That'd be Crimson.
Oh, Tommy Mercer. Nice. Kid's got talent.
Yes, he does.
And if anybody can help him mold it, yeah, I think it'd be a good idea to take him down to NXT for a week. It's always a learning experience. See, let me stop for a second. Because a lot of people, longtime listeners, know that Scrap Iron Adam Pearce, multi-time NWA World Heavyweight Champion and one of the stars of Championship Wrestling.
Who got the hell beat out of him the other night.
I was going to get there.
Wow.
I was going to get there.
So did, what's his name, the guy who was wrestling?
Mikey O'Shea.
Mikey O'Shea.
Yeah, that cage match was great.
Woo!
I enjoyed it. For everybody who has been knocking or putting a knock on Championship Wrestling from Hollywood for some of the characters that have been on there, Mikey O'Shea and Scrap Iron Adam Pearce abso-freaking-lutely delivered. And then some.
Oh, yeah.
But a lot of people complained when... And I was very verbose about the fact that I felt that Scrap Iron Adam Pearce would have been a great addition to Impact Wrestling.
Still would be.
Easily. Could be. Or Ring of Honor.
Still would be.
I'd like to see him back in ROH, personally, but that's just me. And we've gotten so accustomed to circumstances where if we don't get what we think we want, we get pissy. Which is the truth.
And that's why the WWE Universe is to the point where they're pissed off.
Yeah, pretty much. But for me, it's simple. I was appreciative of the factor that Pearce was on Impact Wrestling. Sure, I'd love to have seen him on there on a regular basis. But I appreciate the fact that he got the exposure on a national level from Impact.
As I'm well sure he did too.
And that was his point. It's like, I don't have to be on there every week. They brought me in, they gave me a shot to do this, this, and this, and turn around from there. Okay, so fine. I didn't get the full-time gig. Guess what? I was on national television for 2 weeks.
True.
Some people can't say that.
And as you've taught me over the years, probably more than anybody, any kind of exposure is good exposure.
Yes.
Good or bad.
Even on TMZ.
Absolutely. Why do you think half these stars do stupid stuff and get put on TMZ?
Well, that's...
No, just where they'll get exposure.
Hashtag winning.
Winning!
Which he's been relatively quiet lately, too.
Don't poke the bear.
But, I mean, let's put everything in proper perspective. You know, I was told, I still haven't seen the episode yet, on the show on Sci-Fi, that the Mystery Zombie Theater 3000, whatever the hell it's called, when they came down to Alabama and taped some segments at Global Championship Wrestling. I was told by a number of people that I was actually featured very clearly and easily and prominently in a speaking position on the show when I was doing announcing.
As well you should be.
Well, I mean...
Because you're like a cornerstone and a big part of GCW.
Well, thank you.
I mean, that's just the way it is.
But I'm going to sit back and say this. First off, like I said, I didn't know until other people came up and said, dude, I saw you on Sci-Fi last night. Me? Sci-Fi?
And he thought he was on the Starship Voyager for a minute.
Hey, look, Voyager, that's the show I'd want to be on. Other than the original series, I'd want to be on Voyager.
I like Next Generation.
Kate Mulgrew, hello.
I like Next Generation. I like Picard. And I just wasn't a big fan of Scott Bakula on the other one. I was like, this is a quantum leap dude leading the Enterprise. It's not right.
I thought it was right. Bakula did a great job on it.
Yeah, he did a good job.
He did a really good job.
It didn't work for me.
No, well, the show didn't totally work because of the way that they were trying to map it out. They tried to build too much backstory and not enough execution.
You need to watch his new show. It's very, very good.
I've heard. CSI,
New Orleans.
NCIS, New Orleans. Yeah, Bakula is a very underrated talent. I'm glad to see him get opportunities. But coming back over to the Sci-Fi thing.
One more thing, and then I'll let you get back to it.
Okay.
And last week on the episode, they actually had Dean Stockwell on there, too.
Nice.
Which I thought was awesome.
Yes.
But go ahead. Go back to Scrap Iron. I'm sorry.
It's kind of like Tom Hanks bringing in Peter Scolari.
Yeah.
The old bosom buddies.
Exactly. Don't forget where you come from.
Rob Schneider being brought on by Adam Sandler in almost every movie.
In almost every movie.
You can do it.
Along with everybody else.
Pretty much. Including Dan Patrick.
Dan Patrick now.
Yeah, really.
He's in that group. They were out filming 2 weeks ago.
I think so.
They're in his new movie. So are the Danettes. They're in it again.
Thank God.
If you haven't seen Grandma's Boy yet, just watch it and you'll know what I'm talking about.
I think out of all of them, McLovin would be the most insufferable.
Fritz would be close.
Fritzy's just high maintenance. God love him.
He is high maintenance.
But he's good at what he does.
My favorite's Seaton anyway, so...
I like Seaton and Paulie. It's a tie for me. But coming back over, let me get this part out of the way.
Seaton's tattooed.
No. The first thing that went through my mind wasn't, ooh, where can I see this? Where can I see me on TV? The first thing that went through my mind legitimately was, first off, thank you for recognizing me. Thanks for noticing that I was on there. I mean, thank you for telling me that I was on there. And as the situation progressed, and it's like, we saved the segment, da-da-da-da-da, it's like, and there were kids who came up to me and said, saw you on Sci-Fi, loved it, man. And honestly, I'm just going to sit back and take this opportunity to say two things. Number one, I appreciate the opportunity and the exposure. Number two, to the front office of Global Championship Wrestling, thank you. Because if it wasn't for the factor of me working with Global Championship Wrestling and the great crew that I do there, that opportunity would not have come to pass, and I wouldn't have made it on, my fat ass wouldn't have been on TV. So, I mean, I appreciate the moment. I appreciate the opportunities as they present themselves. And to find out that we're going to be coming back to television in January, yeah, I'm genuinely looking forward to that, and I'm actually trying to drop a little bit of weight. Yeah, and Mount Rushmore needs a facelift. And Vulcan no longer moons Birmingham. But coming back over to the Pierce thing to wrap that up. You have to be able to, and this is something that Adam himself said, he appreciates the moment. And we have to be able to look at it. Rather than try to put a big picture in place, look at the picture. Don't try to paint it with a broader brush than needs to be painted.
He's a true throwback, man.
Pierce is a pro.
Whether it's cutting a promo or in-ring psychology, Adam's got it.
Yeah.
Even, and I know you're a big fan of this from Hollywood Championship Wrestling. Their production sucks.
Their production is basic.
If that.
Yeah.
And he still pulls it off.
Oh, yeah. I mean, look, some of the people that they have on there, I'm waiting to see how genuinely they handle Othello.
That is an extraordinarily large individual.
He's huge.
Yes, he is.
He is a huge mofo that can go a little bit. He's got a little skill. Stu Stone, I like, but he gets too hyper, too fast. He doesn't build. He's kind of like you. He either goes from staid stoic and laid back to get out of my way in the blink of an eye. He's like road rage.
So in case anybody's wondering who hasn't seen the product, he's talking the Eddie Layne of Championship Wrestling from Hollywood.
No, I'm talking more like you.
No. Stu is their Eddie Layne.
No, Stu is not me. Stu would be like a hybrid of me and Wick.
I can go with that. He's like you when he's behind the mic, but then when he's trying to instigate something, he's more like Wick.
Yeah, I'll agree.
I got that.
Stu Stone is a good. I think I like that one. Hold on, Wick. I know you're listening. That's a hint. Stu Stone would be the hybrid between me and Wicked Nemesis. I can go with that.
Yeah.
And then you've got Vermin. I really like them. I like their style. Johnny Yuma, Johnny Goodtime.
Okay, which one of those guys is a midget?
Are you talking about Johnny Goodtime with the big beard?
No, I'm talking about the other guy.
Johnny Yuma.
Is he a midget?
No.
He looks like he's about that tall on TV.
And the other
he looks like he's about Everfly's size.
And I think Ryan Taylor is the MAV TV champion right now.
Yes, he is.
Yeah.
But
and he's also part of
Vermin. He looks like he's about Everfly's size. And they look freaking small. Like they're 12 years old. And I know they're not.
They're not.
They look awful little on their production. Even Vonda, my wife goes, "Are those kids in there wrestling?"
That would be Everfly.
Well, see and
that kid can scoot.
Oh, I know that, but the not the guy with the beard that's in.
That's Good Time.
The Rock Monsters. What are they called?
Rock Nest Monsters.
Rock Nest Monsters.
Yeah.
The other guy. They look about the same size.
Yeah.
But see, like you told me, the reason I'm confused is because their production isn't in order. You know, you got one minute they're champions and they lose, and they come back on TV the next week and they're champions again. What?
Yeah, it's because of the TV taping order.
Yeah, I know.
Because the KDOC origin base for Championship Wrestling from Hollywood, that is a different chronology timeline. It's off by a couple of weeks from what's being shown on MAV TV. MAV is actually running, but they actually had it caught up this week.
Yeah, I watched this week.
Yeah, this week because it's actually talking about a television taping coming up next weekend. Which
you know what that means? That the one that comes on next Wednesday night that we record, or Thursday morning, whatever your choice may be, will be the same one we watched last week. That's what they do.
Maybe. They've actually been trying to get everything caught up, and this is something I'm just going to go and sit back and say. Dave Marquez and everybody with Championship Wrestling from Hollywood, the product is stepping up in a big way over the last few weeks.
Agreed.
And
I even like the hobo.
This guy is an original.
I agree.
This guy
looks like he just walked off a train and now he's wrestling.
The only thing missing is the Boxcar Willie hat and banjo.
Yeah. Don't he have a hat on when he comes to the ring?
Sometimes, yeah.
I think he does.
Yeah.
And can actually go.
Yeah.
Shockingly, I was like, this thing's going to suck. And no, he's actually pretty good.
No, he is really good. And the fun part is, if you notice, he doesn't drop the persona at any point in time. His body language and the way that he sells, the way that he moves, stays consistent from bell to bell.
Even before the bell and after the bell, it's the same.
You know what I mean?
I mean, interview, walking out the door. This dude looks like he's straight out of the damn Kentucky woods making moonshine.
There you go.
Speaking of a hot subject, hello.
Don't mention moonshine in my presence. Well, that's only after drinking half a bottle of Bacardi Silver and the other third of a bottle of Bacardi Pineapple Fusion, and then go over
you mix all the fruities together, you get a problem.
Punch bowl. And that was a punching bag. No, but seriously, and for everybody who has not had a chance to watch, check it out sometime. Like I said,
there's a little bit for everybody there.
There really is.
I mean, you got the speed guys with Everfly who can just flat go.
Yes. But I also have to sit back and say the same thing I said recently. The match that they showed between him and Big Duke just was not a good match.
I agree.
It did not complement either style because Everfly, when you put him with somebody in the 200-pound range, because remember this kid's $147?
Shit, he looks like he's about 12.
Yeah, sorry.
You need to have him in the ring with somebody like Alex Shelley or...
You need
what
to
was
have...
the dude that won the world championship at TNA? I said it looks like my little brother won it.
Okay, Chris Sabin.
Chris Sabin. That would be awesome.
Yeah, those two can go.
Even like Tajiri or...
Yoshihiro.
Manic or somebody like that.
Right.
Or Muda 2 or whatever he's being called now.
Oh, okay. Sonata. Yeah.
That would be a great match.
If you can see you, and this is the thing where I never was a fan of the Big Show Rey Mysterio or the big Batista Rey Mysterio, Kevin Nash Rey Mysterio.
Because it sucked. It's unrealistic.
Well, yeah, because you can do the analogy about a good big guy versus a good little guy as long as both guys have similar styles, and as long as the little guy can adapt to work with the big guy. It is hard as hell. And ask anybody. If they tell you I'm wrong, they're lying. Or they're just saying it to spite me.
It's just unrealistic.
Well, wait a minute. It is easier for the little guy, the smaller of the two, to slow down a little bit to match tempo and pace with the bigger guy than it is for the bigger guy to speed up and try to match tempo with the little guy. Because when the larger of the two starts trying to accelerate past a certain point, it becomes reckless and someone can get hurt. Whereas if the smaller of the two competitors can slow down, it doesn't make the bigger guy look lost.
But you're absolutely right. But if in extreme circumstances like Ray and Nash and Merriweather and Big Show and stuff like that, when the little guy has to slow down that much, it makes it look that much more unrealistic.
Well, Kevin Nash is a different breed because when Kevin Nash was Diesel, he could actually go at a little bit faster pace because he was constantly working out with Sean Waltman. But he
wasn't Diesel when he fought Ray.
You're right. He was Kevin Nash.
Yeah. Right.
He was past the Outsiders thing.
Yes,
Already past another knee surgery.
Yeah, or two.
Yeah, there you go. And for as good as Kevin Nash was, and I'll still say is, for as North Dakota State scored.
You might as well say was because Kevin's pretty well done.
Well, yeah. I'm sure he could still go.
For what, 5 minutes?
5 minutes.
He had like 9 knee surgeries now?
He's had more than I've had temporal lobotomies. But for as good as Kevin Nash was during that timeline.
Absolutely.
Mysterio still had to adapt his style because he knew if Kevin's top speed is 75 miles an hour and Rey Mysterio is 110.
At least.
There you go. During that timeline, hell yeah. In the WCW run, yeah. That was at least 100, maybe 130.
I used to really enjoy the matches with him and Psychosis and him and Uvatud.
See, I enjoyed the cruiserweight division that WCW tried to put together. The fact of the matter still stands at the point that WCW, for as much as they did right, they did that much more wrong.
True.
They did
a lot right for a long time, and towards the end, they started screwing everything up.
The ones that got it right was ECW. And when WWE incorporated after the buyout the cruiserweight title,
yeah,
the best one that they had it on at any particular point in time, Shane Helms.
I can argue that. Although I like Ray.
Ray was good. Shane Helms to me was better. Shane Helms was more frontline marketable in a lot of ways. As a wrestler, Rey Mysterio in the WWE era was marketed more as a novelty than a wrestler.
True.
Shane Helms was marketed more as a wrestler than a novelty, even with the Hurricane.
Even with the Hurricane,
yeah, because that was some. The Hurricane was a character that all ages could get into. You had the kids who were wanting the Hurricane mask like no tomorrow. You had us in our age brackets who were sitting back going, yeah, Green Lantern Part 2. Yeah, we'll run with that. We'll put stock in that. We'll make the investment in it. Because he had the Green Lantern tattoo, and dude, you should see the ring I'm getting.
Hey, piss off, I can buy a Green Lantern bowling ball.
You suck.
And it's got the ring on one side.
And you could use the damn thing better than I could on my best day.
It's got him flying on one side, and it's got the ring on the other. I'm not going to do it because it's $149, and I don't want to spend that much money. As soon as I'm not working, I don't have any money. So I don't want to spend Mama's money.
There you go.
But I could show you where it's at if you want to buy it. You can buy one.
It would sit on my wall and collect dust.
Well, there's one sitting on Evil's wall that I bought him. It says KISS on it.
You're going to hate me. These were given to me by a friend a couple of days ago.
That's cool. No, I don't hate you.
It's 2009 Live Nation merchandise. I've got the set of 4 pins that was put out during the Live Nation tour for Kiss.
That's not the guys that were on stage in 2009.
I know.
That's the originals.
I know.
That's when it was Kiss.
I know. Trust me. You forget.
You don't want to open this box of worms.
February 1977 was my very first concert, Kiss in Birmingham. Thanks for playing. I have earned my stripes as a Kiss fan.
But I was going to tell you, and you brought it up about Green Lantern, any superhero pretty much that you happen to want in any weight from like 8 pounds to 10 pounds, if you wanted to use it as a display, I have found a website that actually produces those.
Nice.
Superman, Batman, Joker, Penguin, Green Lantern, Aquaman, Flash, you can get them all on a bowling ball.
And this is something, quick side note, I was watching on Netflix Young Justice the other day, and they had an episode where they not only had Jon Stewart, but they actually brought out Guy Gardner. I was on the floor, mark out moment for me. Because and those who know me know the fact, okay, Hal Jordan is the benchmark. But to me, my favorite Green Lantern was Guy Gardner. I like people with attitude. Plain and simple. And that's one thing Gardner had. He had a smart-ass attitude that I really appreciated.
As much as you're a superhero fan, how do you not watch Gotham?
Because scheduling. I never have a chance. Man, I've got 2 things going on
Stop
Monday night.
recording wrestling.
No.
What else are you recording on Mondays?
Midget porn. I'm kidding.
Hello.
I'm kidding.
And on that note, we're going to break.
Yes, we are. We'll be back in 5. This is the Beyond Ringside Saturday Showcase.
Hey everyone, my name is Bryce Rensburg. I'm the Chikara Senior Official, and wherever I am in the world, be it on the phone or the internet, there's no place I'd rather be than locked in to Beyond Ringside.
Hey everyone, this is the Cosz, Robert Cosper, host of Cosz and Effects Thursday Night Radio Throwdown. This is your invitation to join me, along with the Effects Stuart Couch, Mad Dog Dan Sawyer, and all of the craziness that is C&E, right here every Thursday at 7 p.m. Central, 5 p.m. Pacific Time. It's wrestling radio with a twist, and some might just say with a twist of lime when the bar is open. Cause and Effect, right here on the Beyond Ringside Radio Network.
This is Brian Alexander the Great. You're locked into Beyond Ringside.
Hey, this is Stan Grubb for WrestleRage Radio right here on BeyondRingside.com. Join us every Sunday night, 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time for myself and Smart Rage as we discuss the professional wrestling business from WWE, TNA, and all things in between. We'll have an interview here or there. We'll see what we can do to just keep you entertained. And along the way, we're going to have to bring up some emotion and make you think. That's what we like to do. So join us here on Sunday nights, 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and we'll see you at WrestleRage.
You gotta wonder if Dwayne's gonna be a part of that show.
I think that's after Dwayne.
Welcome back in. The U Part 2 tonight, 8 p.m. Central. Welcome back in. Saturday Showcase rolls on at technically hour number 3, the 12 o'clock hour, 12:12 Central Standard Time. Feels weird being able to say...
Which means it's not a podcast yet.
There you go. Live internet radio as we speak live from Studio One. Having covered a hopscotch all the way through, Ziggler, Luke Harper, TLC tomorrow night. Hitman, your thoughts?
I would like Ziggler to win it. So that's going to be my pick. Although it would be kind of a moot point to put the title on Harper and then take it right back off of him. They've done it before.
You know, I have to think about something here.
I think Harper needs the title right now. I don't think Ziggler does.
Ziggler does not need the belt.
So I guess I'm picking Harper. If you go by my logic.
Well, Ziggler has reached that point where his star is shining even brighter yet again. And the art of being a veteran. Classroom's open for the third hour. Sorry, Wick, stealing the gimmick. even though that's what we started doing over on Sundays a long time ago. Classroom's open for a minute. The art of being a veteran, especially as it pertains to creative, or the lack thereof in WWE, is the ability to elevate while not compromising. And that is a hard thing to accomplish depending on who is involved in a match. You have Luke Harper with the Intercontinental title going into the ladder match with Dolph Ziggler, from whom he got the belt. And in this case, if you put Harper over Ziggler, does it cost Ziggler?
No.
I'm 50-50. I'm completely pick 'em on this one. It depends on the execution of the match. If the title is on the line, Harper goes over.
The title is on the line.
Then Harper, I think, will go over. Unless they want to put the belt back on Ziggler that fast. Remember, over the course of the time that Chris Jericho was in WWE, he was a 9-time Intercontinental Champion, 6-time World Champ.
True.
Lo and behold, I see a lot of Chris Jericho in the style of Dolph Ziggler. By the same token, and this is the part that I get grief about, so let me go ahead and do this. Ziggler, and I've said this before, reminds me a lot of Mr. Perfect in his mannerisms in ring.
I think Ziggler is a three-way combination. I think Ziggler is a Mr. Perfect, Billy Gunn, Chris Jericho.
I didn't think Gunn. I was thinking RVD.
He's got a lot of gun in him. If you pay attention, especially when he's using Gunn's move.
True, the famouser. Yeah.
The way a lot of his mannerisms in the ring's got a lot of gun in it.
And this guy, Ziggler gets air.
Oh yeah,
boy got hang time.
So did Billy.
Yeah, Gunn got hang time.
He's still training down in NXT, right?
I think he is, but I'm not sure.
Okay.
I haven't done my homework on that one, so I'm wrong on that. But from that vantage point,
be a good trainer, even if you're still down there.
Now, here's the other one. There are no major special stipulations on this.
It's like I think Ambrose is a mix between Roddy Piper and Stone Cold Steve Austin.
I'll give you that.
It's just what I see.
Especially the mannerisms of Piper.
Yeah, and the psychology of Steve.
Or the psychotic nature of Steve.
Well, yeah, that too, but just the way he works a ring. If you pay attention, it's a lot like the way Steve used to work one.
Right. I'll give you that one in a heartbeat.
Which you could do a lot worse as two role models as Roddy Piper and Steve Austin.
No kidding. See, I'm really kind of torn. In the match, I talk every once in a while about a match being a genuine pick'em, and it's going to be Rusev Swagger. Swagger all of a sudden is right back in the mix over the last couple of weeks. And lo and behold, and I'm really glad to see two things. Number one, Lana's skirts are getting shorter, and number two, she's laying off the bronzer.
She was on the bronzer pretty hard.
I mean, really.
She was like almost Chris Jericho orange. She was almost Oompa Loompish. It's like...
He said that, I didn't.
Well, it's either Chris Jericho or Christian. When Christian comes in, he looks kind of Oompa Loompish.
Okay.
And Lana was headed that way.
Supporting communism, one white stripe.
I was like, lay off the spray tan, honey.
Yeah, really. Which way do you see Rusev Swagger going?
Unfortunately, I think Rusev's going to win. I don't think they're going to let Swagger beat him. I don't think they're ready for Rusev to lose yet. They built him up as this unstoppable blah, 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 which he did technically get eliminated in Survivor Series.
Yeah.
But that's not a loss.
And he also, he didn't get, he survived the Battle Royal for the U.S.
No, he won
title.
the Battle Royal. I think the person that's going to beat, this is my opinion, I think there's a couple of ways they can go, or they should go. With the 247 riders they have, they'll probably go none of these ways. Because they can't stop writing for Total Divas. But I think the person that's going to beat Rusev for the title is Roman Reigns.
Do you think that they would start with the U.S. title before that? Because they had him in the world title picture.
I think they're going to get a belt on Reigns as soon as possible.
Okay.
I could be wrong. But, I mean, if he's then you can build it up U.S. champion versus world champion at whatever pay-per-view you want to do it at.
True, that can be done.
It'll be a lot like, Goldberg versus Hogan in Atlanta.
Okay. I can definitely see that.
I like Swagger. I think he's gotten better. I just don't think they're going to let him beat Rusev yet. It could be some shenanigans screwy finish where I just don't think Rusev... I mean, he can get disqualified. And he'll lose, but he'll keep the title. I don't think they're going to let him lose the title yet. I think they should have a particular nudge, nudge, wink, wink, hash brown, listen, asshole, to the people that may be listening. I think they should have a plan for him and people coming back, like Barrett or Reigns or whatever. But I don't think they're going to let Swagger do it yet. And that's how I see it.
And speaking of, real quick, for everybody listening this morning, for those coming through .com, our chat room provider is Chat Tango. And they have suffered a...
Bless you.
Yeah, there you go.
I'm sorry.
They've actually suffered a direct attack on their site and their servers, which means that a lot of their stuff is down right now, which includes our chat room. I had actually thought about the idea of opening up a setup over on Facebook or Twitter this morning just to see, but hopefully Chatango will have everything back into place and we'll get the chat room back up and running for us. So I don't know why they got attacked the way they did, but something that is not mine to question.
They were just jealous of our show.
There you go.
Right.
We crashed their servers.
Sure we did.
Tag team action is part of TLCS.
You already picked it.
Nope.
Yeah, we did. We picked
the New Day versus the Dust Brothers.
Oh, I thought you were talking about the
I never did. Hold on. Yeah, I will agree wholeheartedly with the factor of they probably don't want Rusev to be pinned yet, and they want to keep the title on him. So at this point, they're going to have to figure out a way. They could possibly put him. They could put Swagger over by DQ to keep Swagger's momentum going. The renewed momentum that he's got going on right now. But as far as it goes, I don't. And the wink, wink, nudge, nudge was originally supposed to be John Cena.
Yeah.
And but see, I don't see them putting the belt on. I don't see them putting the U.S. title on Cena. Unless I really don't. I mean, it could conceivably happen, but you didn't see Ric Flair drop back to the U.S. title after so many world title runs.
After so many world, yeah, you're right.
And the only thing about it is, at least, but this is the thing about it.
I think there's way more people on the roster, especially some that are coming back, that could use the U.S. title a way lot more than John Cena.
But therein lies the rub. Do you give him his first loss, then have him lose the belt, or do you give him the loss and the belt loss at the same time?
I think it's the same time. I think you pin him and lose the title at the same time. You can have him get counted out or get disqualified, or that's not really losing the get. I'm talking about I think you pin him and he loses the title the same night.
Right.
That's what I think. Because they built him as this monster heel.
Yeah.
Which they've actually. He's one of the few exceptions that they've actually done a good job.
Right. The match that I'm not sure why I want to watch this, but I do. Trainwreck. But you've got some very gifted competitors in here. And it's the New Day versus the Dust Brothers. You've got to, in this circumstance, unless, and this is the thing that is going to be a major sticking point for a lot of people, do you put up all the hype and all the vignettes and suffer the slings and arrows and the criticism for the way that you've done the assembly of New Day?
Or the new domination?
Yeah. Only to have them lose to Golden Star
that makes no
at
sense.
the pay-per-view.
That makes no sense. Then why even do it?
You've got to, in this circumstance, they've written themselves into a corner. New Day has to go over.
According to what we've learned, you before me, because you were into it before me, that psychology, which we are talking about WWE, so let's stop here and say they usually don't make sense. But that psychology makes no sense. It don't.
Because you have the Dust Brothers coming off the tag title loss in recent history, and then that means they'll be going under to yet another tag team, technically a new team. They went under to Mizdow, and they're going to end up going under to... Now, could this also, considering we're at the end of the year, a lot of speculation from coming out of last year, 2013 going into 14, was the fact that Dustin and Cody wanted to work each other at Mania.
It could be leading into that. They got time.
So if you have them go under to Mizdow,
which is your best tag team going right now?
Other
than the Ascension.
Other than the Usos.
I don't think so.
I'm
talking about the heat and all the stuff that Mizdow's got going on, and the cheering,
the momentum.
They're the hottest thing in the market right now.
Yay, boo. Yeah. So in this particular circumstance, you could actually put the finish for New Day Dust Brothers as the Dust Brothers going under and doing the honors to help elevate New Day, which is the way things should be in this regard. And then from there, have Golden Stardust start to have dissension between the two of them, leading into a 3-month push toward Mania, which I think would be a logical idea. That could happen.
Actually, be a 4-month push. Because in Mania, the end of March, beginning of April.
Yeah.
So you got 4 months.
3.5.
Yeah.
But all in all, the pressure's on. And yes, I'll go ahead and make a reference to it. Divas Championship on the line.
Sorry, I just had an aneurysm.
that was actually funny. Much better. That one would have been much better the first time. When you have Nikki Bella versus AJ Lee.
I will say this when it comes to this, and then I'm done because I have no desire to ever see a Bella again. First of all, I'm going to say two things.
Other than in Penthouse. Nikki, yes.
Nikki, yeah.
Brie, no.
I wouldn't mind them together.
No.
Together.
No.
Because Nikki, it's like Gene Simmons' wife.
You cannot compare the Bellas to the Tweed sisters.
I'm just saying, one overshadows the other.
No. Shannon is gorgeous. Tracy is hot.
Tracy's okay.
Tracy was hot.
Yeah, she's all right.
In her prime, Tracy was hot.
And Brie's okay. I mean,
Tracy Tweed is still attractive.
Not as much as Shannon. Not much as Shannon.
Shannon takes the factor of being on television much more seriously.
But how cool would it be if you were Gene's kids? You can actually go around and say that my mother and my father were on the cover of Playboy. Because Kiss was on the cover of Playboy one time.
I remember.
Yes, sir. I have it at home. Anyway, back to this. Back to watching.
I think Nick has more fun with that than Sophie does.
Yeah, you're probably right. But how do you build up this huge thing between Nikki and Brie?
And then
just go, well, that's over. It just makes you shake your head. And I know that neither one of them have as much talent as a raindrop of water in a thimble, but that's not the point. You build this 4 or 5 month thing up with them fighting each other, and then all of a sudden they just turn and it's all back together again.
Yeah, I know.
What?
I know.
It makes no sense. Anyway, but what I wanted to say was rumor is that AJ may be taking time off, maybe leaving WWE after this match, so I'm picking Nikki. Only for that reason. Because, not counting Charlotte, because she's still in NXT.
Right.
And not counting Natalya, because they job her out way too much. Even though they should have jobbed her out to Charlotte. But we talked about that earlier. Or just made her lose to Charlotte. Paige and AJ is the only two on the whole damn roster, female-wise, that have any talent at all. And if you watched the Slammies, which I'm sure you did,
yes,
her speech almost was like a, I'll see you later.
Yeah, almost like a fair fight.
Yeah, exactly. So, and rumor has been that she's going to take time off or be gone for a while or whatever. So, wants to be a mom. So, more power to you. Your husband's got a good gig going. We'll get into that in a minute before we get off the air. You've earned it. If you want to take time off, take time off. If you want to quit, quit. I'm okay with that. I hate to see you go because you are one of the 2 or 3 women on the whole roster that have talent. So, I picked Nikki Bella for that very reason.
I agree. I really do.
And I hate it because, like I said, neither one of the Bellas got as much talent as you could squeeze a raindrop into a thimble, but, whatever.
Hey, I'll be the first guy to give you all the credit in the world.
Yeah, I'll be like 93rd or 94th. I think when AJ leaves, the Divas division will take one hell of a hit. And
hopefully they'll get Charlotte up soon and Sasha Banks up soon and to compensate for that.
True. Well, and you just said it yourself. You'd have to bring up 2 to counteract the 1.
Well, I don't know. Charlotte's pretty good. She ain't as good as AJ yet because AJ's polished.
Right.
AJ's been there. But
Charlotte's got the pedigree.
Yes, she does. And the size. She's impressively.
Yeah. I'm going to go back over to the Divas match from Monday night when Charlotte and when Natty was going. That had the potential to be a wrestling fan's dream match for the women's division, and lo and behold, they screwed it up from the start.
Yeah.
With Tyson, like, I don't know what to say. I really don't. Because knowing the fact that Natty can carry an impressive match, and Charlotte has shown on NXT that she can damn well go. To put the world in proper perspective, they cheapened the match all in all because of the crap with the way that they're writing the Total Divas crap with Tyson. It's sad. I'm not going to say I'm pissed. I'm not going to say I'm mad, torqued, whatever, irked, ill. I'm disappointed. And I know that Hunter's going to sit back and listen to this and go, oh, he's disappointed. I mean,
then why even bring Charlotte up? Why not just let Natty wrestle one of the Funkadactyls or whatever? I mean, why bring Charlotte up, being the NXT champion, and punk her out like that?
We can't all be supermodels.
She is. She's extraordinarily nice to look at, by the way.
Yeah.
I don't see how Ric Flair made something that looked that good.
If you had ever played a sport in your life besides checkers in the Glee Club, you'd know.
That was a different soundbite than I thought it was going to be. Yeah, I couldn't resist. And I'm going to sit back and say, damn you, WWE, for all intent and purposes over the last few months, because you have not really given us any good sound bites to work with. And to listen to the announce team bicker back and forth has gotten so incredibly old, it's not even funny. Roll Tide. And
where the hell did that come from? War Eagle.
It can come out of anywhere and be the number one ranked team in the country. But it's going to be a dogfight next year. And in 2 years, it's going to be World War III. Yes, in 2 years, it'll be World War III. Go figure that one out. But in all sincerity, the way that I'm tired of all the Total Divas crap. I am tired of the sideshow storylines. I understand, Vince, you want to put together a variety show. That's why you bring in Seth Green. That's why you bring in Betty White. That's why you bring in... I'm Grubby Cat.
Why do you even call it sports entertainment anymore?
It's supposed to be...
Just call it entertainment, because that's all... It's not even sports entertainment anymore. Because you got to think, 6 years ago, they were calling it sports entertainment. I buy that. Now it's kept going so much further away from the Attitude Era, from when it was pro wrestling.
Right.
It's not even sports entertainment anymore. It's his version. It's like a 3-ring circus.
That's being nice.
That's the best I could say. But speaking about a circus, follow my logic here. I don't go to the circus much anymore. But when I was a kid, I didn't go to the circus on a regular basis because it gets old. You get to watch the same things over and over again. But when you place your hard-earned money down to go to a house show or a pay-per-view, don't you want to see the dancing clowns and the elephants and the tigers and the bears?
Yeah. Oh, my.
Then where's Brock Lesnar? Where's Sting? Where's The Rock? I mean, these guys...
Wait.
No. These are what Vince called them, special attractions.
I have to
When you go to the circus, you want to see the special attractions.
Now, the trick to it is, and this is where I won't put Brock Lesnar in the same class as Sting or The Rock.
Well, I'm just saying Vince did. He said Brock, Sting, The Rock, whatever. He said they're special attractions.
Okay, then your special attraction should not be your frontline champion.
I agree with that. I don't mind Sting and The Rock and people like that being every now and then.
Right.
But if the belt's around your waist, you need to be there at least once a month. At least that.
Agreed.
And you need to wrestle on at least a pay-per-view every now and then.
One every 3.
No, at least one every 2.
Champion, yeah.
Because the rule was if you didn't defend the title in 90 days, they stripped it off of you.
This is Vince we're talking about.
They did it to Daniel Bryan, and then they gave the damn thing to Brock Lesnar, and they don't enforce it.
I know.
They enforced it on Daniel. I mean, that's my point. I mean, it ain't like they just forgot about it and said, we're not going to do that rule anymore. They pulled the title off Daniel because he couldn't defend in 90 days.
60 days, yeah.
60 days, 90 days, whatever. And then they put it on Brock, who ain't going to be there in 4 months.
Right.
I mean, we're not that stupid.
They think we are.
I agree.
And they wonder why their numbers consistently drop.
Because people are sick and tired of it. There's no consistency. There's no give a damn. There's no good story writing. And people are tired of it. People from 19 to our age group is what makes up their demographic. Yes, you're going to have your kids that come in and buy your John Cena t-shirts, and that's fine. But their parents aren't taking them to shows anymore because the parents don't want to see it.
Right.
And they can't figure that out. This ain't building a monument. This ain't rocket science.
This is not building the pyramids.
I mean, I know it's a publicly traded company and you can't have blood in the ring. Well, you could, but you're not going to. And that's not all I'm talking about. Although Mikey O'Shea and Scrap Iron Pierce was really good. Sorry, I digress. I mean, you don't have to do that. I mean, to make it better, you need to get some wrestling fans that have followed the product for 20 plus years to become your writers, because the soap opera people that you have and the TV people that you have don't have a hash brown hell damn ass clue what they're writing because they don't know what's wrestling.
Right.
That's where your problem is.
Right.
Period.
That is why Ring of Honor technically right now is kicking the ass of WWE. That is why Impact in their final part of the run on Spike TV was kicking the ass of WWE. And that is why Championship Wrestling from Hollywood as of late is kicking the backside of the WWE because of the fact, and this is my major thing, this is something that I've said, two things. Number one, you never underestimate the intelligence of the people viewing your product.
They're your focus group.
I mean, I'm going to use the line that Jordan McDeere used in Studio 60 on the Sunset Strip back about 8 years ago. People who write television shows are not smarter than people who watch television shows.
Exactly.
And you should never look down upon your clientele. You should never insult your audience. WWE has managed to do that on more than one occasion on a regular basis over the last few years. Number two, the reason why people are talking about ROH and Combat Zone Wrestling and Chikara and AIW.
I'm still trying to figure out Chikara, though. It's kind of weird. I know Mabel likes it, and it's all good.
It's a little bit outside your wheelhouse.
It's a little different.
It's a little bit outside your wheel.
It's a little
but
different.
See, the reason why people talk about Championship Wrestling from Hollywood, and we're talking about Impact in such a positive way, is because they put a product on television that gives you viable, credible, and believable storylines that is backed up by in-ring action that people can wrap their heads around. Hitman?
It's basically what, and I don't mean to cut you off. I'll let you finish. But let's knock this down into layman's terms. It's basically like what they went out and did was they went out and they hired a bunch of hotel moguls. Okay,
yeah,
that's run and built hotels to run and build restaurants, and they don't have a clue what they're doing. That's why now that Hogan and Bischoff and all that crap is gone from TNA and it's gotten better, who do they have over there as the head writer? The ex-Attitude Era WWE writer.
Continue.
Exactly. And Ring of Honor doesn't do a lot of... I mean, they have an interview here and there, but basically Ring of Honor has decided to...
let the action
the action speak for it. Let the in-ring psychology speak for what they're doing.
Right.
Which is great. If you get your in-ring psychology right, you almost don't have to have interviews. Every now and then. A little bit here and there. And
if you have a commentating team, which, sorry, Tanae,
lost his job, by the way.
Yeah, sad.
I think he's still going to be there, but I don't think he's just going to be the head commentator.
Well, and this is the thing that I've got to sit back and say, and this is a straight shoot. I would adore the opportunity to work with Taz.
Who wouldn't?
Because when Taz is being himself, he is one of the most off-the-cuff, creative, and fun-to-listen-to individuals on television. Not just in pro wrestling, but on television.
One of the best color guys that I've ever heard.
Top 3.
Who's number 1?
Color commentators?
Mm-hmm.
Wow. That's a hard call to make.
I have a 1 and a 1A for my first two.
Go with it.
Bobby the Brain, and Paul Heyman.
I can give you that easily. I can see that at the drop of a hat. Ventura was good most of the time.
I liked Ventura too. I wouldn't put him in the top 3, but I liked him.
Ventura was good. Heenan and Gorilla, they were magic.
Oh yeah.
Monsoon and Bobby, Gorilla and Bobby were just magic.
But the weird part is Gorilla's not in my top 3 play-by-play guys, though. Although I liked very much.
Okay, look, and I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to be shameless and self-serving for a second before shameless plugs. When Guinness and I worked together, and we stayed focused on what we needed to stay focused.
Unlike us.
Nobody. You shot yourself on that one.
Why not?
You didn't think I was going to knock the gun out of your hand, did you?
Of course not.
There you go. Y'all hang me out to dry. I'll return the favor.
I hung myself out to dry.
There you go. When we were on top of our game and stayed focused, I would stack what we did with Global up against any national promotion. Because we had fun doing it.
I hate to pull this line out of Pulp Fiction, but that's a bold statement.
Okay. The only tandem that I could see other than Monsoon and Heenan that could probably blow our doors off, in their prime, JR and the King.
I like JR and Paulie better. Or Heyman better.
I like Jerry when he is the cut-up, goof-off, and somewhat sarcastic, heelish color commentator. Not necessarily all 374,000 times that he would say puppies in an episode, which he's glad that people remembers. He just hates it when people go on about it. He does. This is from personal experience and conversation. But for me, look, I was a huge fan of Tony Schiavone.
I like Tony.
I was a huge fan of Lance Russell. Yeah, there's a lot to be said for Memphis, dude.
Yeah.
I mean, of course, we had Charlie Platt and Rick Stewart down in Southeastern Wrestling, Harry Thornton back in the Chattanooga run. You had Bill Mercer and everybody over in World Class. Gordon Soley is... Now, here's the thing. Soley is still, in my book, 1.
Always.
Always has been, always will be. Ross, 2.
Yep.
Styles, 3. Because all 3 showed that they could carry a broadcast alone.
True.
Alone. Schiavone and Crockett were good.
That's why I'm not pissed off at JR's working at whatever.
New Japan.
I know it's affiliated with somebody
New
you don't
Japan.
like to talk about, but
yeah, it is a New Japan show.
I mean, go get your money, dude. They hired a good announcer.
They really back the Brinks truck up.
Exactly.
I don't care. Back the Brink trucks up. English optional. 18 before the top of the hour on this Saturday Showcase edition. Fast Eddie Layne, Ryan Adcock. On this 13th day of December, we blew through the bottom of the hour break, and I'm okay with that. We're heading for the home run round in more ways than one. But logistically, Soley was the only person that I genuinely will acknowledge and realize, and he is who I pattern a lot of what I do after, but I hybrid a lot of what I do. Because I believe pro wrestling a good match. I would
mix like we're talking about mixing the guys that are like Ambrose being a mixture between Steve and Roddy Piper. I would mixture Gordon Soley, a little bit of JR, and a lot of Casey Kasem.
And now back to the countdown.
just not the voice, just the mannerisms.
Well, oh, and I have to do this just for fun. Hello, my name is Zorak. When I'm not busy kicking Space Ghost's ass, I party like a mother on Beyond Ringside. Hey, stop it or I'll zap you.
Okay. Live promo.
There you go. That one's moderately passable. I'll kick you in the ass, boy. And I also must get this one out of the way, too. You're a mean one, Mr. Grinch. All right, there. Thurl Ravenscroft will never get the credit he deserves, and that is a shallow and a pale comparison to the mastery of Thurl Ravenscroft on that song. And yes, I'll steal the Tony the Tiger gimmick because it was his to begin with. He was great. And trust me, going into announcing, we could do a whole 3-hour episode on that. And we've done, classroom sessions on To Be Determined and Beyond Ringside about announcers as well. Because there are some unsung heroes.
I was never invited to those.
I'll smack you in the head. Hell, Wix invited you on TBD.
Not to those episodes.
Oh, well, that's been a while.
I know.
Those are flashback history. May have to redo those. But, and you've got people, Kevin Kelly and Steve Corino do a good job on Ring of Honor.
Not really. Carino's good. Kevin misses too much.
Kevin's vanilla.
Yeah, but he misses too much.
I like Kevin Kelly, but he is too vanilla for my taste. He doesn't get it. His version of hyperactive, but see, I have benchmarks that I look at in different areas. But for me, it's like this. Carino's good when he's on top of his game. Nigel McGuinness is damn good.
Yeah, he is.
And Joe Dombrowski with PWO. I had a blast working with David Pierce over at Peach State. The announce team they have working for Vintage down in Florida. I can't remember their names, and guys, I apologize. I don't mean to slight you like that, but the team that they have working at Vintage down in Florida, excellent. They have fun doing what they're doing, and they call it. The team over at Championship Wrestling from Hollywood. I don't get a chance to watch a whole lot of different shows. I'm making time for different shows, and I'm sacrificing a little bit of WWE program to do that.
You ain't heard nothing.
Well, by the same token, and this is something that we're getting back to basics on. There's that phrase again.
Oh, hello, I've heard of that show.
There you go, Tuesday nights, 8 p.m. Central. And I'll give her that in shameless plugs. But on the whole, and this is something that we've done today, it hasn't all been about WWE. We've had a chance to talk about Ring of Honor. We talk about how much we actually miss Impact and what they've been doing in the last few months. Championship Wrestling from Hollywood. You even got the obligatory Chikara reference in there. Tomorrow Never Dies. And there's more to this than just WWE.
We even had GCW references today.
Yeah, we did.
Hello.
There you go. Saturday, December 27th. I have the full.
I'll be expecting a payday for that.
Come to the damn show.
Yeah, I'm just kidding.
Come to the damn show. You have been invited.
I know.
By the owner.
I know.
All right, then. And that's something that, I'm going to use this for my technical last call. And and no, I am not taking a bullwhip to Trigger or Scout or Silver or any of them. I'm not going to beat the dead horse. I'm just going to give you a subtle reminder. There's more out there. And if you're not careful, you just might like it. Because weeks ago, a lot of this team on the Beyond Ringside family of shows was like, what the hell is that stuff? And then as they watched it and developed an understanding of the product and the characters and the storylines, you heard Hitman today. There are positives that are on Championship Wrestling from Hollywood. There are some negatives. But at this point in time, the positives outweigh the negatives, and that's all you can ask. I hate myself for the phrase I'm about to use. The Attitude Era is dead and gone and will probably never return. Because that was a magical point in time in the world of professional wrestling where everything clicked. Where your mid-card and top-tier talents meshed. The dividing line in this day and age in WWE programming completion, the dividing line is a lot, L-O-T, a lot more distinct than it was in that era.
Well,
and WCW was the world's worst about that dividing line.
They let them do their own thing back then. But do you think that, being behind the scenes like you are, and knowing what you know, Do you really think that there was 26 writers writing promos for Steve?
Hell no.
And The Rock and Undertaker and Triple H and Shawn Michaels?
They were bullet pointed at the most.
Maybe. Maybe they were bullet pointed like this. Hey, Steve, you need to get the point across about the pay-per-view. That's it.
Agreed.
But now they handwrite everything.
I know.
And it shows. And they're never going to be back there because Vince has a publicly traded company again, and it wasn't back then. I'm not saying it's got to go that far, but it's got to make inroads that direction.
Complete.
It's got to make inroads to that direction.
You're right, it does.
Because the way it's going now, it's getting worse. Like I said earlier, go ahead. I'll say it.
No, continue.
They seem to be getting it right in NXT.
Yep.
Why can't you get it right on a big program?
Because Vince runs the big program.
I'm speaking in semantics.
Rhetoric.
I got it. I know that. And he's so, like we talked about earlier, he's so far out of touch, he needs to either step aside or realize that. And I ain't saying just turn it over. Look, go back to 3 or 4 riders. Let the guys, maybe they can't talk. I don't know. But I don't, if it wasn't for this program, I wouldn't watch WWE. Because I don't enjoy it. If I have to watch it live, I'll leave the room. I can't watch it without it being on fast forward. I can't.
Yeah, I know. I'll catch the 3rd hour live, and I'll go back and watch hours 1 and 2 fast forward.
When we were young in the business, me more than you because you're older than me, it was, I can't wait to see what's going to happen next Monday. Now it's like, I don't even care. And it's not for the fact that we're getting older or more into the business or whatever. It's for the fact that the product sucks as a whole. And I'm not talking about any individual wrestler or their effort in the ring or anything like that. I'm just talking about the way the product is presented.
Right.
So don't anybody face plant or Twatter Eddie saying that
Twitter,
whatever, or Hash Brown Eddie talk about saying, well, he was dogging John Cena or he was dogging. No, I'm not. I don't know these people. I think they're incredible athletes. I'm not knocking them in any way. I'm knocking the writing, the storylines that they are given by the soap opera writers that Vince has hired that think they know how to write professional wrestling. Because the numbers don't lie. And in the past 6 months, obviously it's not me. Because he should have had over 1.5 million subscriptions by now, and he doesn't have it.
Should have had over 10 million.
And he does, not even close. Because people are not going to give you even $10 a month for what they see on TV on Monday, Wednesday, and Friday.
Ring of Honor taught me.
I give you $10 for that.
Yeah, I gave you $24.95.
I gave you $10 for that.
Yes, you did, and I appreciate that. So did Evil and Tammy. It was great being able to hang out with everybody.
Yeah, it was nice, and a good show. And we wasn't disappointed when the show was over.
No, we weren't.
I mean, no, I wanted Matt Sydal to win, but I thought him and Jay Lethal put on a good match. Until the very end.
Here's my perspective. Yeah, I wasn't a big fan of the ending of that match.
No. I understand it. I mean, it does make sense. But
it does.
Yeah.
But we can come away going, it was a good match all the way till the end.
Yes.
Kind of like Ambrose and Wyatt.
Yeah.
But I'm going to put this in perspective real quick. Ring of Honor taught me a very valuable lesson this past Sunday night. WWE has a very overinflated sense of self-worth about their product.
That just follows the owner, right?
Pretty much.
Just thought.
Because, now granted, they're doing one pay-per-view every 3 months. Give or take. They're on that course.
Of Ring of Honor?
Yeah.
Yeah.
WWE should have already taken that note and cut back on the number of pay-per-views. 8 would be fine.
6 would be fine.
Well, and the reason why I say it like that, and also, like I said, $24.95 on in-demand pay-per-view, not iPay-per-view, but traditional terrestrial cable satellite pay-per-view. I was okay with that.
They're not even pay-per-views for Vince anymore, are they?
No, it's through the damn network.
Yep.
WWE is not carried on in-demand, Dish, DirecTV, or any other major that I know of pay-per-view provider. It's all through the network. To me, that is nothing more than a glorified Raw or SmackDown.
Exactly. And not even as good.
And their pay-per-views have been nothing more than a glorified Raw or SmackDown.
Exactly.
Over the last few months. It's gotten mundane. It's gotten humdrum. It's gotten routine. Pay-per-views are supposed to be special.
I mean, when we first started doing this show back in the late 90s, I mean, we would talk and it would be like, well, we got to get this pay-per-view because we got to see what's going to happen. I mean, we got, this guy's wrestling this guy and I got to see what's going to happen. I can't wait till tomorrow where it's on Raw and I know about it, everybody knows, but I got to know about it when it happens.
Right.
Now we don't even care about Raw. I mean, we're like, whatever. I mean, we love the business, drink, but not WWE.
Nope.
It's kind of like that food you eat that just doesn't sit right with you. You keep wanting it to get better, but the track record proves that it's not going to.
Right.
By the way, before it slips my mind, sometime in January, we're going to Nashville. Ring of Honor's coming.
Depends on the week.
I'm telling you.
It depends on the week.
I hit you in the head with a folding chair.
That's been done before.
Not with the velocity that I'm going to swing it.
You haven't seen some of the people that have hit me before. The Continental Lover Eddie Richard took some hellacious chair shots right alongside of Fast Eddie Layne.
Continue, sir.
It's okay. And that's the sad part about it. I'm not going to denigrate the product. I'm not going to insult Dean Ambrose or Bray Wyatt or John Cena or Cesaro or New Day.
Been completely misused.
I know.
Oh my God! I didn't want to bring him up. It just frustrates me so bad.
You're not on Twitter, therefore you didn't see my comment, and I said it direct, point blank. The audience has connected with Cesaro all 3 times that you've given him, put him out there in various characterizations. It's Vince that has not connected with Cesaro, showing the fact of how Vince is out of touch with his fan base.
Well, you're right. I'm not on Twitter, but you're exactly right if you wrote that. We don't want you to do the swing anymore because the fans are cheering for it too much. What?
Yeah, like
isn't that what you want them to do?
Aren't you? Yeah, you're going to have a hell of a time getting the fans to turn off the cell phone flashlights when Bray Wyatt comes out.
Which is completely... That's another thing that bothers me. When they first did that, it was organic. And I thought it was great.
Right.
Now, on the LEDs behind Bray when he comes out, that's so cheesy.
It's been like that for 6 weeks.
It pisses
7
me
weeks.
off.
I know. It does me too.
God.
But by the same token, they jumped on something that works. They found something that works, and they're trying to run with it, even though WWE would love to take credit for it. I watched the first time people started doing it. And then it grew, and it grew, and it grew. And out of a 17,000 person audience, maybe 12,000 people are doing it. I'm sitting back going, that is a thing of beauty.
Love it.
And it was something the fans did.
Exactly. Like this.
Yeah.
And they hate it. But yet Stephanie's running around doing it now.
They hated it because they didn't think of it.
Exactly. That's like that. Like I told you about that. The way it felt to me, and that's all I can speak of. When the Shield was here and the Wyatts were here, and one to take a step and one to take a step.
I know.
And that was that had that old school feel to it. And there was chills on. There was goosebumps. There's goosebumps standing up on my arm right now. Look. Just talking about it.
And sometimes
and then they screwed it up.
And they kept trying to do it over and over.
You can't do that.
Just because it works once don't mean it will work the 99th time.
And not only did they screw it up and keep trying to do it all over and over again, now they've broke up the Shield and the Wyatt family.
I know it. Making our way to the top of the hour. Home run round continues. Hitman. Last call.
I've taken up enough of your time. I got a lot of things I'd like to talk about, but you got to be off the air in just a minute.
Well, checklist them. Go for it.
Nah, that's all right.
No, go with it.
I mean, it's basically, just it's a lot of social media things that probably don't need to be said right now. I probably would drag on for 15 minutes, and I've been known to be long-winded, so.
You never.
Hey, at least I'm honest about it. I don't pull any punches. I'll tell you, if I got an opinion about something, which I usually do, whether it be from the product that WWE puts out to what's going on in Ferguson, Missouri, or, yay, the new defensive coordinator we got at Auburn, I probably got an opinion on it, so I probably don't need to drag your show that far. I just, Mom, I love you. Hashtag the silent movement. Keep not giving Vince a dime. Maybe eventually, by the time he goes broke, he'll figure out that he's a douchebag. And he's so far beyond the times it's not even funny. But maybe not. But you got 1 minute or a couple minutes, so you do your thing.
No, go with it.
You got support GCW next Saturday. Not today. Next Saturday.
2 weeks.
I thought it was 2 weeks. That's right. My brother comes in. I think my brother's coming in town next Saturday. I get my dates confused, but these guys, and I'm talking about when I say Robert Cosper and Eddie and Dan and Clyde Braddock and all these guys, they work really, really hard to put these shows on for y'all. Y'all don't see how much they really work. I do, even though I don't go to the show very much. I've actually seen the hard work they put in, promoting, working it through arena, and their product is just as good or better than what WWE's putting out, and you can see it for $10. So, not this $40 or $50 or $60, $125 that Vince wants you to charge. The only way you're going to get your point across to Vince is stop going to the arena. You already stopped watching on TV. His numbers on TV are in the toilet. All you got to do is go look them up. Just stop going to the shows. And when they're having to put curtains over 3/4 of the arena because nobody shows up, maybe you'll get the point. Maybe you won't. I'd much rather go, and I don't go very much, but I'd much rather go to a GCW show than I would anything Vince ever puts out in the past 5 years. But, I'm a broke ass, so I don't hardly go anywhere. It's hard when you got to justify spending somebody else's money. Anyway, Mom, I love you. I'm done.
The week that was, for me, has a lot of twists and turns. For those who follow me on social media, you've seen a couple of the things that I put out there.
That means not me.
There you go. And this season does it to me every time. So I'm going to go ahead and clarify something right now before anybody tries to read too much into what I'm saying and what I haven't said. December 25th, to me, is a sacred day. Because it represents the birth of Jesus Christ. However anybody wants to put it together, that part of Christmas you will never take away from me. There have been so many groups that have tried to debunk every little facet of Christmas and the birth of Christ and da-da-da-da-da. You go right ahead and make your own day. You go right ahead and make your own day. I was asked the question by a friend, what are you going to do if this all turns out to be a lie and all you have left is your faith? You know something? I'm 48 years of age, and if it had not been for my faith, I wouldn't have made it this far. And I probably wouldn't have made it half this far, much to the chagrin of certain people in this world. But I'm going to lay it out there. I'm not saying boycott. I'm not saying don't go to the stores. I'm not saying don't spend your money. What I'm sitting back saying is, whether you believe in Christmas as a Christian, Hanukkah of the Jewish faith, profession of faith. No, it's profession of faith is actually what it's called. Kwanzaa. However you say it, however you celebrate it during the season. We put more pressure on ourselves to outdo ourselves in the retail side of Christmas. That's why Christmas shopping season, Valentine's Day, they can both kiss
man-made holiday.
They can both kiss my ass.
You want to show somebody how much you love them? Show them all year. Don't show them on one day.
You want to show somebody how much you care about them, do something nice for them without being asked.
Exactly. Not on a specific day.
Yeah, really. And sorry, Hellsberg, me showing somebody that I care doesn't involve me going to your store and buying a 3-carat diamond. That's luxury. That's not necessity. And in this day and age, we've turned luxury into necessity.
Not in my house. When you ain't got no money, you ain't got no worries.
Same here. But
You're lucky if you get a pound fruitcake and some moonshine.
hey, I'll take one of those. And it ain't the pound cake.
I was kidding.
Or fruitcake.
That's a cake that nobody wants.
That's a deadly object. But in all seriousness, remember in and of itself, whether you believe in Christ or not, whether you are atheist, whether you are agnostic, whether you are Christian, whether you are Jewish, whether you are Catholic, whether you are Baptist, it doesn't matter. I almost said Baptist. It is its
That's
own,
a religion in itself.
It's even Jehovah's Witness, Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints, the Mormons.
Wow, I thought Wick was on here for a minute.
There you go. Remember, more than anything else, this season is supposed to be of the heart and of the soul, not of the checkbook and the charge plate. You can do something nice for somebody without killing your checking account. You can be and show who you are for this season without driving yourself into an emotional frenzy and then into bankruptcy.
I can agree with that. I'm telling you, when you're broke, you find ways.
Amen. I mean, I don't care if I'd have won a $600 million Powerball earlier this year. I would still be saying the same thing.
Yeah, but I took care of my family, though.
Family. Therein lies the rub. Family. Family knows you for who you are and loves you for who you are, regardless of what your checking statement looks like.
Well, some family do.
Some do, yeah, true.
Trust me.
Some do. But as we are less than 2 weeks before December 25th, and as all different denominations are celebrating in different ways, and even those, yes, there is Festivus for the rest of you.
Thank you, Jerry Seinfeld.
Pretty much. Man-made holidays.
That's all Valentine's Day.
Just remember, basic, plain and simple human nature. Fight the urge to drive yourself crazy. Oh my God, what am I going to get? Oh, let's make a list. Oh, let's check it twice. No. Be yourself and do something that reflects who you are.
That doesn't mean because your civil rights are violated, you need to go rip off an AutoZone. I'm sorry, I got that in there. I just felt like I needed to say that.
I saw that one coming too. Somehow or another, I knew that was going to happen. But in all sincerity, like I said, if you really want to keep the season as the season, be yourself. Do something nice for yourself. Do something nice for those around you. And it doesn't have to cost $100. It doesn't have to cost $50. That's the easy way to say it. And yes, damn it, that is my side of the coin. Let's run it down real quick. And for those listening live, thank you for tuning in today, whether it be through BeyondRingside.com, through TuneIn Radio, through Shoutcast, Winamp, Ustream, all of the above. Greatly appreciated. Sorry. Coca-Cola snuck up on me.
Oh, okay. I thought you I didn't know if you died.
There you go. Some people would say, yay. Other people would say, really? Really?
I'd hate to have to give you the Othello 1-inch heart punch.
No kidding. Live programming continues here on the Beyond Ringside Radio Network on Sunday, December the 14th. The trifecta is back. With TLC, we're going to work on the timing. Beyond Ringside Live returns Sunday, December the 14th at 6:30 p.m. Eastern, 5:30 Central, 4:30 Mountain, 3:30 Pacific.
That's
there.
Too many time zones.
Had to make sure everybody was covered here in the lower 48 and up in the upper. How many provinces are there in Canada? I can never remember. Wiggy, call me and tell me. Sorry, we don't have SAP programming, so therefore we can't subtitle this crap. Beyond Ringside Back to Basics returns on Tuesday the 16th. Oh, by the way, I apologize. The brand new episode of the Midnight Black Mass from the Reverend Dan Wilson will be premiering tomorrow. Also, we're working on the timing for WrestleRage with Smart Rage and Stan. We're going to see how things work out because of the pay-per-view. And guys, thank you for understanding last week because of everything with Ring of Honor. That was something that I really wanted to see. I'd offered to produce for Stan and Corey last week and come in every 30 minutes, but they decided to go in and take last Sunday off. And I, like I said, I appreciate the professionalism and everything they've done.
They might as well take March 1st off to you.
I'm not flying to Santa Clara, California.
March 1st, we're having a pay-per-view here.
No, I was being facetious.
Oh, I wouldn't go to WrestleMania.
I didn't go when it went to Atlanta. I didn't go when it went to New Orleans.
Well, I would have done that.
I would have done
for
New
the
Orleans.
cities it was in.
Yeah, I'd have done New Orleans. Atlanta, I would
have done parts of New Orleans because I've been in parts of New Orleans. You need to be carrying a gun.
Of course, and I've been in parts of Atlanta where I need to be carrying a bunch of singles.
Me too.
Alas, Pink Pony and UAB football, we knew thee not nearly long enough. But from that vantage point, let me go and throw this one back out there. Continuing, like I said, Tuesday the 16th, Back to Basics, 8 p.m. Central, 9 p.m. Eastern. Going to be joined by a longtime friend who I also know from the Tragic City Rollers women's roller derby group. Tammy Jo coming on board this coming Tuesday night. Also setting things up with Ace Haven of Pro South Wrestling for a very special roundtable as they're getting ready for their major end of the year event as well. The To Be Determined show on the 17th of December, 9 p.m. Central Time. Cause and Effect Thursday Night Radio Throwdown Thursday on the 18th at 7 p.m. Central. And the showcase returns next Saturday, 10 a.m. Central Standard Time. Folks, we're going to call it a day for the Hitman, Big Daddy Cool, Ryan Adcock.
Off the name that never duplicated, folks.
For the Cause and Effect, Robert Cosper.
Is he still here?
I don't know, somewhere.
Over and out.
This is the Magic City Motor Mouth Fast Eddie Layne saying, have a great weekend. Be good to yourself and each other.
Oh, Jerry Springer.
Yes, I know. I figured I'd throw that one in there. Fine, I'll do it the old school way. Adios, das vidania, hasta luego, auf Wiedersehen, ciao, sayonara, adieu, arrivederci, farewell, abasenia, au revoir, until we meet again. Aloha means bye-bye. Join us right here as we all go beyond ringside. Bye for now.
See ya.